radio.
I love you. You are so dear to me. I love you. You are so pretty.
There's Toenail with a dip on it. It's the Jason Ellis Show. Jason Ellis. I'm thinking I'm back. Michael Tully.
The United States of fuck you.
Andrew Cruz. It all made sense to me.
Kevin Kraft.
I might be better suited for the future.
And Will Pendarvis.
Fuck yeah, I'm Will Pendarvis.
Jason Ellis.
I'll sublime up.
This is the Jason Ellis Show.
Yeah. Ah, shit. Welcome to the show. It's great to have a show because at least 25 people are looking at me on the internet, so that's a win. I don't want to. I mean, you gotta set goals, and when you're old and your face is falling off, you don't want to shoot too high because you don't want to like lose every competitive bout of your life. You know, it doesn't have to be a fight, just But I do think I can beat Adam Carolla in a boxing fight. I also think I can beat Joe Rogan. I mean, I know he's probably better, but they're like not real fighters, but they fight and they're old. So I'm putting myself in there with them. That's all. I don't want anybody to tell anybody. I just thought to myself, I saw people hitting pads. I was like, yeah. That's a goal. So I think I'm going to probably like start driving around where those guys live and cut them off on the road and stuff until they just can't take it anymore and they start fighting me. Kind of like in Fight Club when that priest you have to pick a fight with somebody and lose.
Could you
I could win, yeah. But I could lose too.
what about if you pick a fight with...
And I know Brendan Sharp's absolutely positive that I would lose, and I know Brendan Sharp, just because he says something doesn't make it true.
That's true. That's true.
But he's probably right.
Who
but
does he think you would lose to? Both those guys? One of those?
No, he thinks I'd lose to Joe in a second.
Oh, I see.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have like SARS or some shit?
I got that fucking SARS, son.
Why do you have that on? Seriously.
I think I got the fucking... I might have the flu. That's why I'm wearing this.
If he has that on and he has the flu, does that count as actually like stopping the flu?
I'll be happy to leave. Like I know you're a germaphobe.
I'm not a germaphobe. I'm just a guy that gets sick a lot.
Well,
Betsy got staph, so I'm like, you're not coming in. I'm freaked out.
I don't blame. Like I get it. Like I don't know.
I just feel like everyone is gonna. If anyone's gonna get it, it's gonna be me.
Look, I've been nonstop traveling.
And your mask doesn't look clean. It looks old. It looks like you've been wearing it for like 2 days. It looks like you've just been spray painting.
You know what the problem is my nose is so big it broke the mask. It literally broke the fucking mask.
What about if you unleash the beast and cut a little hole for that bad boy? I guess it's
just going to defeat the whole purpose.
You're right.
They made this mask for Asian people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and they have small noses.
They were not thinking about
notoriously known for not having pointy noses. Yeah. Are you going to do your show like that?
Yeah, man. Look, bro, I almost ain't coming to work today. I was just like, but I missed work for being sick 2 weeks ago. So like,
people chastise you for that.
You know, you already know. You already know.
Yep, I do.
It's like,
yep, I do. That's why I come in no matter what.
I know.
Unless I'm mentally challenged and I know that what I'll do for the next 3 hours on the radio will make the people that would hate me for being sick hate me even more. So you gotta even it up. Add it up. I add it up. I go, which hate do I want to receive tomorrow? Fuck you, rich bitch, Howard Stern wannabe. You show up less than him, or easy fucking sad pants. Like if I had your money, which one do I want to?
I know.
So usually, I'll
you just boss up. You show up.
Because if I'm sick, I'm in pain. I'll come in here no matter what. I don't give a fuck about sick and pain. But if I'm in mental pain. It's not fair for everybody else that they have to deal with this. I'm just going to go, put my head in the dirt for a couple of days. I'll be alright.
I dig it.
Yeah, but you look good.
Well, you can only see half of my face.
See, that's like a weird female thing that when girls, you say you look good and then they flip it around somehow.
Right, I do look good.
Right. Because I was giving you a fucking...
How many make about disgusting?
Yeah. I was giving you a compliment, and you need to take that.
I know, but like when you tell someone with a mask on that they look good, it's not. It's kind
no,
of
but
a backhanded
but you
compliment.
could no. I was saying you look good with.
Now that you got this paper bag on your head,
you're very insecure. You look like a criminal who's trying to hide some shit.
I feel like one.
And you look like. I mean, the only thing that's bad, as I said, is. No, it's not. You look like
the same outfit from yesterday. I didn't even bother. I went to bed. I woke up. I put this on. And
you look like
my ass.
You look like you you pack bags of coke.
Thank you, man.
So and then the matching black and the beanie. You look pretty fucking hard right now, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll take it.
I would go one step further and put those little gloves on. The little sandwich making gloves.
Do they have any of those?
We got doctor gloves in here. Yeah, fucking strap his ass up.
Give me some, I'll wear them.
Because the doctor is in. If you do that.
Fuck yeah, bro. I'm in on that shit.
Yeah. You should talk to Aubrey Marcus.
Who is that?
He's the guy. Is the founder of Honor, and he knows all these crazy things on how to heal and get, how to have a better life. And one time. He's got a new book out too, and it's got like good things to how to wake up in the morning and stuff. It's got like sex advice and all this other stuff. So it depends on who you are. I think I could outfuck Aubrey Marcus, but I don't think I can outlive Aubrey Marcus in all the other things that he does in his life. But for you, I think he could give you some advice. I think he could. I think he could help you with. Why are you giving him diapers?
Just in case he has the shits.
I did have the shits last night, which was a real bummer.
But if you had the shits, would you prefer to wear a diaper or would you just prefer to sit on the bowl?
I prefer to run in shit.
Oh, I have fucking really exciting news because you're here and it's perfect because you're just seems like you're falling apart.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I say too. I was sweating profusely for no reason. My palms, I fell over the other day.
Damn, son.
So I'm an adult. My hemorrhoids are back. Pretty pumped, right? I had to explain to my son in a way where you don't talk about your asshole. But I was like, we were doing a lot of karting on the weekend, and he rolled it. He actually rolled the go-kart.
Nice.
Freaked me out. He actually now has a helmet on every time he rides the go-kart. Because I was like, I thought we were playing it cool, man. Like, what the fuck was that?
He's your son, dude.
I know. Oh, you know what? No, here's my argument. He's a lot like his mum. And I thought maybe he had that common sense thing.
Right.
Your surgery mask is rubbing on the microphone.
Sorry, dude. I'm trying the best I can.
Well, just you can do a little distance. That's all.
What do you want me to do?
Not rub the mask on the mic.
People pay good money for this. That's ASRM, right?
They do pay good money for this. A lot.
Very soothing.
Yeah.
How come you never have me on your show?
Because you're too white.
Wow. That's like the harshest blow of a Tuesday I've had in some time. Wow. What about if I'm just like you? I mean, I keep it cool.
That's the problem. That's the problem. If you just do you, you're perfect. But what I'm afraid is you'll be like, yeah, I like Public Enemy, and then it'll.
Why would I say that?
Because when people are real white, they say things like that, and then it makes it awkward for everyone.
But I'm not white. I'm Australian.
I know.
I don't count. And I don't answer to you or fucking anybody. I'm going to pretend to be liked by anybody. Wait, do I sound different when I'm on Lord Sierra's show? Wait, sorry.
The last time you came
I was never on his show.
No,
do I sound different
came on the show with Lord Sierra and just murdered him, and then we weren't allowed to have you back on. And then I forgot about you coming back on.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with you murdering him. But like, you fucking just killed him for an hour, and it was.
You're joking me. I'm not surprised.
And then that was that. That was that for Jason Ellis.
Oh, okay.
That was that for Jason Ellis. But me and Sierra been separated for a while.
Maybe I'm referring to Sway. Yeah. I did Sway Show a couple of times. I think I talk like me when I'm on Sway Show. Did I say, hey, do you guys know I really like Public Enemy on there? Because I fucking...
I think you went out of your way to talk about how much you hate Public Enemy and how any idiot could just talk over somebody else's record.
That'd be awesome.
Damn it. I'll never get on there again, but man, I got to try that again. Because it's super... I could imagine how relaxing it'd be with 8 black people in the room.
I enjoy all kinds of music, so you can understand why I hate hip hop.
You know what? I started talking. He tried to talk about my mistress, and shit got fucking uncomfortable in there. People they were like, "What? This dude is what?" So you don't talk about that stuff.
They don't talk about. I didn't know you had a mistress.
You mean a BDSM mistress?
Yeah.
Not a side bitch.
Oh,
Side bitch.
Because you could talk about those.
you got a bottom bitch.
Oh, Sway loves side bitch, dog. He was like, "Yo, holler at me about your side bitch." I was like, "Man, she's
You
just."
can come on and talk about your mistress on my show.
I have yeah.
Yeah, your mistress was bad. She was bad.
She's cool. And I'll get a side bitch too. Well, let me get a side bitch and then hit you up about that. Because what about if I come on and talk about my side bitch?
That'd be cool.
You know, I hit up
Maybe you and Katie can come on and talk about how to successfully have some side bitch shit work. Because you guys have a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah.
Where you guys really get to. Does she fuck other men?
I mean, she's allowed to, but not much. Not really.
Like how? Like twice a year maybe or some shit.
Probably more than that.
All right, these are all things I'll ask about once you're on the show.
But she likes Public Enemy.
She's like, yeah, I totally like fucking other guys and listen to Public Enemy. Have you ever heard of them?
I had a black friend in high school.
Yeah, she totally wants to answer to black people. She loves that.
I watched Black Panther and it was blowing a guy to Black
Yeah.
Panther. It was really awesome.
Yeah, she won't say any of that.
Wakanda.
She does not answer to anybody at all.
Well, she's Eastern European. They got their own shit going on, bro.
Yeah, she's kind of Russian.
Yeah,
Just doesn't speak Russian and is from.
They're next level.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can see it in her. I feel like if you don't know her and she doesn't speak, you could. If I told you she was Russian, you'd believe it.
Yeah.
She's got a weird thing about her. And then there's that other thing where she doesn't. I don't know what it is. Some girls have it. I don't know what the fuck the word is, but every time I see a girl that has it, I'm like, ooh. Oh, and now I'm impersonating a monkey or dingo, but I want to have sex with them. I'll do that instead. Wow, that was a good one. Do find Kookaburra sound right now and then play back my Kookaburra. Sorry, so I don't know if I can do it again, but I feel like that was pretty Kookaburra-y. Sorry.
You also sound like that guy who called in yesterday.
That guy gets all the pussy.
Okay.
That's a bird? I thought it was a monkey.
That might have been the greatest Kookaburra audio I've ever heard. So no. Yeah, mine's not going to come up on that guy. That guy, did he get a fucking medal for that? That was the most tremendous Kookaburra.
Views.
Right, because that's the best. Out of all the Kookaburras I've heard Kookaburra, that guy fucking threw in like a the fucking. He's got different techniques in his. Most of them just go and then they cut out. These cunts. You go. No, you go.
You gotta fast forward a minute in. What are they waiting for?
All right, I'll go. Here I go.
Leif, Kookaburra, Leif.
Where are they from?
Oh, he's fucking eating. He's not going to Kookaburra if you're feeding him.
You know what? You started strong, and it's just that's good.
He's fucking awesome. Kookaburras.
Those
That's
little
just
guys.
cool at noon, but if I heard that in the morning,
They don't do it in the morning.
they don't.
They don't do it in the morning.
Hard
They're
body.
not fucking turkeys.
What were you gonna say?
The little guys in the new Star Wars are just totally ripped off of them with a different face.
What? That's not cool.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Hey!
Right?
Everything
You.
Star Wars does is adorable, and I find that fucking annoying.
Hey, me too.
Kids didn't go for it. My kid could
Good.
My kid could give a fuck about. He couldn't even name that thing.
Good. You fuck that thing.
And they were totally pandering to your child.
And they're pandering to those weird little yellow guys that all hang out with that evil dude.
I guess I haven't.
What are those guys?
But
Yeah, that guy. Who's that?
The Minions.
Yeah, it's a fucking minion.
yeah, when I gave out candy in Nashville, there was about 57 minions just cruising, bro. It was just minions everywhere, bro.
People in minion clothing. Mm.
So, yeah, everybody was a fucking minion, bro.
Yeah, kids dig the Minions.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of good things to say about them. They have a couple moments.
I
but for
like
the most
Minions.
part, I can respect that.
I like their dad too. I think
Gru?
I think they're cool. I like their relationship. He's evil, but he loves them. It's cool.
He's a complicated man.
He's a complicated man, and people need to understand that complicated men exist.
Everyone's complicated. There's no black and white.
That's not true. Some people are not complicated. I saw a thing on CNN this morning of wives that voted for Trump. They're not complicated. At all.
Why not?
Just basic bitches. It's the most basic bitch I've ever seen. It's
I
stock.
could argue that a basic bitch would vote for Clinton because she's.
Oh God, don't do that.
I'm sure many of them did.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a woman. I'm gonna vote for a woman.
No, I didn't.
I have no idea what her policies are, but she has a vagina, and so do I.
I agree.
It's pretty fucking basic.
I'm pretty sure the number of people who voted for her simply
those
because,
bitches.
simply because she was a woman were pretty much exactly outnumbered by the number of people who voted against her simply because she's a woman.
There you go.
So I think you can throw that out.
They crossed that out. I didn't vote for her just because I don't like her. I voted third party.
Who was third party?
I don't even
Gary
know.
Johnson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's on the show.
Yeah.
He came on, that's right.
How was he? Was he cool or was he a dick?
I mean, I thought he was alright.
He's all right.
I just think that maybe he stood for some things that were a little bit wacky, and that's all. But it's weird that you have to do that. I don't know why you have to.
Everything I do is just not like. I'm just like, fuck this shit. Just focus on your thing. And then when I vote, it's a protest vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah.
I was just the way I was just telling someone. I was like, the least of your problems is your president. Just focus on your fucking self, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. There are very, 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 very few people whose lives were really materially affected by Barack Obama or Donald Trump.
Or Bush. Just focus on your shit.
Okay, and one caveat: I know that a lot of people's health insurance got really wacky, and if you go, no, dude, my insurance was this, and it went like that because of this guy, cool, fine. But for the most part, all the other things that we're arguing about don't affect you in the slightest.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, just focus on doing the best you can in your life.
I'm more worried about alien sea creatures coming from the ocean and floating above us. Michael, did you see that? I know you saw it. They're sending it to us.
The thing that I Instagrammed?
Wait, did you do the thing
No.
with the whales?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, somebody else sent it to me too before
really?
you. Where'd you get it?
Out of The Economist. That's an ad in like a
well, then
serious
somebody sent me the
magazine.
ad.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what was
That's
it?
really odd.
Yeah.
Because when I put shit up...
Because I
it's
saw
just
you
like,
see it, and I'm like, oh, they're sending it to you too.
No. That's a photo that I took of my physical magazine.
Oh, somebody DM'd me that.
What was it?
Really?
It was just like a dude riding a whale.
No, whale riding the skies. Because Go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew can find... I still don't know, because The Economist
son.
is the kind of magazine that will have ads for companies you've never heard of that provide services you can't identify, because like some of the huge high flyers of the world read The Economist, so it'll be like, Thompson and Sullivan delivering aggregated results with the Fisher technique, and you're like, I don't even know what you sell, but I guess this is very impressive to some billionaire somewhere, so that's why that's there. So this is, what is it, HNA? And it's not clear from the ad what they do, and their thing is sharing dreams and exploring possibilities in a big, beautiful world. And it has an artist rendering of a humongous fucking whale flying over a city. And there's some cranes up in the sky, and it's not
Planes
clear.
in the sky too.
There's planes and cranes. Bird cranes.
Yeah,
Planes.
and whales.
And a whale, a humongous fucking whale.
Because I was thinking, Jude, like we came from monkeys, and aliens might have came from octopuses, because octopuses are super smart and shit. And they're down in the water. They actually walk around there, because the G forces of the water, they can move around and shit. So maybe they got like jelly spaceships. But I was like, maybe they don't even have jelly spaceships. Maybe they just are the fucking spaceship. Maybe aliens are here this whole time. We didn't even know. The good thing about it is, most of the time when whales beach themselves, we're always teaming together to try and help them, put them back in. And that means that if they were aliens, ships or something, they'd be like, man, these people, dumb, but they, that's the thought that counts.
Are they suicidal, or they just like got lost?
I know, right? That is
like,
never, because they don't,
fuck this shit.
They don't know for sure, right? Because don't some of them come back when they unbeach them? They fucking beach themselves again?
I don't. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. Like if I was a whale, you got all that ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you? And how do you not see? Like, just take an immediate right turn. Like, wait a minute, we're beat. You're like, what? Nah, man, you fully
feel that shit on your tummy.
Yeah, you kept going forward for sure.
It's got to be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get up there, right?
Like, what's it all for?
I would
Fucking
think
bro.
so. But yeah, wasn't that one of the later shitty Star Trek movies with Shatner and stuff? Was it the whales
Save the
were
Whale. That was
from
like
aliens or something?
Yeah, it was like you look at a lot of the '80s movies, and like much like now, they're it's like they're talking about whatever was going on. I think Superman had to fucking fight a nuclear bomb and throw it away from us, and then they were saving the whales.
It unleashed General Zod.
Is that what was that?
Yeah. Bad idea.
Well, I think they that was Christopher Reeve refused to play Superman again, so they were just like, "What would it take for you to do it?" And he's like, "Well, if you're really into saving the world," they're like, "Fine, Superman fights nukes. You guys, will you put the fucking tights on again?" Seriously.
You fucking lift your SARS mask up to sip coffee. It's so diesel. So, what are these whales doing, Andrew? So, are they like posted up contemplating beachment?
Like, can't you just shoo them away with a fly swatter?
Are they just hovering?
Yeah, they chilling, bro.
So
I love you, baby. We'll be together forever. There's gotta be a better place than here. I'll see you there.
You know what it is they go to the shore to dry up and die, right? Like they're old and they've come to die.
Have you ever seen? There's the other ones where like the beach whale has been there for so long that like he bloats and then they puncture.
Yeah, no, they have to. They explode.
It's the most gnarly shit ever.
If you don't, somebody paid to slash them open because if they don't, they would explode and kill people if they were near it because of the crazy. You do. We're not fucking joking. It's serious gas.
Play it. Oh, he's gonna play it. Oh, you're cutting open the stomach. Oh, boom. Wow.
That is so scary.
That's the first one you came up with. We've seen, and we don't need to find more.
That's just gnarly.
There's crazier ones that just keep going.
That's just gnarly as fuck, son.
I guess that happens to us too if you leave us on the beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Give it enough time.
So there you go. Whales cruising around saying that I feel like really what they deserve is... Because I know that that's the end and they're like, look, I'm in agony and if I go to the beach then it ends faster. So that's their... Because they're very smart. And they talk to each other.
Yeah, they're like...
Oh! Sounds like they're in hell a lot.
My mom had like a jazz musician, whale, fucking, I think it was something Winters.
A dude played jazz music to whale talk?
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
That was in the house a lot.
Oh, wow. Like fucking scales to a whale moaning?
It would just be like...
Flute scales to a...
It's something Winters. I forgot his name.
He didn't...
Winters?
Johnny Winters didn't get like shred licks going, did he?
We looked that up for me, Andrew. Winters...
Songs in the key of whale.
Fuck yeah. I think there's even like wolves and shit. There's some with
oh wow, now you're talking flute and wolf
Paul
combined.
Winter, yep, Paul Winter, and then there's fucking whales and all that
whale
shit.
flute, man.
One possibility is that man-made sonar pulses startle and disorient the whale's own sense of sonar, possibly scaring them into seeking safety in shallow waters. It's possible that when groups of them beach, that however the first one got there, like even if you want to kill yourself, you probably are going to make some pretty distressing noises along the way to dying. It's possible.
Oh, and they go to help
because they hear the distress call.
Wow, how crazy is it that you're just hanging out two whales and you go boo 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 boo, and you get the giant sonar from the submarine. You're like, fuck, that guy sounds fucking huge. I'm gonna kill myself before he eats me. Right?
On the other hand, most stranded whales are in poor shape by the time marine life rescuers reach them, so it's hard to determine if it was only the original whale that was in bad shape to begin with. Because they're all in bad shape by the time people get there. It's possible they were all in bad shape when they...
It's like, fuck it, it's over.
I mean, who calls the shot? We're like, hey, look, we've had a great time.
Yeah.
Because it's a weird whale when you call yourself, like, look, I'm heading for the shores. I'm pretty much done with this. Why, Jimmy? Well, you know what I mean? I got this fucking toothache that I've had for 25 years, and that thing's fucking pussing, and I don't want to eat anymore.
I've had 3 kids. Jimmy's through college.
Yeah,
what else do I need to do?
I've seen 7 of my babies die from killer whale attacks. Like, enough already.
Maybe these are the doomsday cults of the whale world.
Follow me to see the whale Jesus.
Well, like Jonestown, you know, like
the
the Heaven's Gate guys. Like we need to die so that we can leave our heavenly bodies, so that the spaceship can take us to the planet Zartuna.
Right. No, so it's sort of like all the other whales that are out there being free, and then there's every now and then there's a couple of sucker whales that get trailed by a Jesus whale, and he tells them all to head to the shores. And then when people pull him back out, he's like, "No, this is the devil. They're the devil. Get back on the shore, so you may meet whale Jesus."
Weezus,
I was
what they
like,
call him.
Ooh, that's got a little bit of a Lil Wayne thing in there to me.
Young Weezy.
Weezus is just too close.
Weezus Christ.
I'm thinking about having a Jesus Christ zombie sex party this weekend.
There you go.
I don't think anyone's gonna come. I'll try and tell Katie. She's like, "Make the flyer." I'm like, "I'll make the flyer because I don't." That's my new thing. Instead of being on social media, I make.
Punk rock. It's very punk rock.
I don't. I make. Dude, I started going live all the time because I keep seeing you go live all the time.
Your lives are way better than my lives.
I disagree. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna like bash ourselves for half an hour, but I disagree completely.
Your lives.
You passed me. I'm a piece of shit.
My lives, I argue with 15-year-olds, and I only got like 100 followers.
I argued.
Your lives, you'll have like thousands of people.
I didn't even argue with BJ Paul when I just had a discussion. I lost 3,000 followers in like an hour.
Well, they were never your friends in the first place.
Right? Thank you, Michael. Betrayed me.
Bastards, you don't need them. You don't need them.
You retweeted a priest today. A Jesuit priest.
Who did?
Jason, did you not?
Did I?
Did I see something? Did you retweet something today?
I retweet stuff. Did Ben Glebe do it?
I don't. Maybe that's where you got it from, but I don't think it originated from him. There we go. James Martin S.J. Society of Jesus.
The Jesuit priests are the smart ones.
I went to Jesuit schools. I'm a big fan of the Jesuits.
Those guys are fucking bright as shit.
Yeah, I'm down with the Jesuits. You know why? There's a lot of reasons. They got to get a real job before they become priests.
Oh, no. Okay, no.
I got a homie that like designed Skyrim and then was like, "I'm gonna go be a priest." Like fucking genius.
Yeah. They're. I'm totally down with those guys. I don't believe a word they say, but I like them.
Yeah, because I don't know what they say in the Bible because I didn't read that book. But, you know, I mean, this guy said what Jesus said in the Bible.
Right. So some priest who I'm not familiar with named Pastor Greg Locke said the funny thing is Donald Trump is still president and she, meaning Stormy Daniels, is still a hooker. And James Martin S.J. replied, the funnier thing is that Jesus spent more of his time with prostitutes than with presidents. Funnier still, Jesus said, truly I tell you, the tax collectors and the prostitutes are going into the kingdom of God ahead of you.
He just fucking murdered him with Bible verses and shit.
I can't imagine this Greg. That's like a real rookie mistake for any priest guy to make. Like everybody knows Jesus was down with prostitutes.
Yeah, bro.
So if you're gonna shit on prostitutes, you are counting on your flock not knowing a whole hell of a lot to begin with.
I just don't understand how. I do understand, but I just pissing on her. It's not about that, you know.
Everybody likes different things, though. You know what I mean?
It's weird. It's just weird to see that.
I used to try to piss on girls and then have them pee on me and shit. But I'd be so excited that I couldn't pee because
I've been having crazy pee sessions at my house.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It wasn't my idea. I'm not into it. I'm not like hard on it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pee hitting me. Peed into my bowls the other day. Made a cup of pee.
Yeah, it's just,
it doesn't.
Man, I think what happens is like once you keep doing things, you just. I'm gonna equate it to stinky cheese. Like you just don't start off eating that fucking.
You craft single and then you work your way up.
Yeah.
I respect
that. There's some brie and maybe a fucking aged cheddar. Next thing you know, you eat some shit with all these blue veins in it. You're like, this tastes like a fucking.
You're absolutely positive this is the best shit you've ever had too. Yeah. You're like everybody else doesn't get it.
Yeah, you don't understand this. Like
you guys don't understand what it's like to have someone pee into your ball sack while another person drinks it out.
That's you.
But see that the difference is I didn't take that as a sexual feat. I took that as more of
just a goof.
No, I took it as more of I'm really happy to expose to be free and naked in front of my friends and vice versa. But when really hot girls and that whole thing happens, I just think it's a funny thing and it's a cool thing. I'm like, it's cool and funny, but I'm like, I'm gonna go on the internet right now and see if I can find some hot urine sex. That doesn't work for me.
I've worked off to that before. I just like the heat.
But see, you're saying that. I don't have a problem with that. Katie told me she had a boyfriend for the longest time that would come no hands. They'd go in the bath and he would lie on his back in the bath and she'd pee on him and he would come no hands.
I'm not there. But
But I remember when she told me that, I was like, okay, well, I don't like that dude can go to work. He's not like he shouldn't be arrested. It's like that's his thing. Good for him.
Hey, I got to go. I wanted to say Portland was a really great turnout, and a ton of your listeners showed up.
And they gave you SARS.
They gave me SARS.
Red Dragons.
But they love you guys.
Well, me and Telly are working on a book now. You've inspired us.
Good.
Mm-hmm. We're doing the third one. And you know what? Myself and Telly talking about it, within the first hour of talking about it, I felt if he had had that conversation with me a year ago, I probably would have been into it because I wasn't sure how to go about this. I even talked to you for a second about it. And he, of course, the smart one, has the answers.
Well,
I feel way better about it.
Just know thank you to Portland Pacific Northwest, but like a ton of your people came.
Did you go to strip clubs when you were there?
No, I was with my cousin. I just spent some family time. I was like just chilling, did work, did family time, flew home. Got SARS on the fucking plane.
Respects. Well, we did a report on the show. If you are within, is it 2 seats of the person?
This news, right?
On Will's news.
If you're like sitting next to the person, you're gonna get sick. If you're like 2 away, you're probably gonna get sick. If you're 3 away, you're not gonna get sick. Because everybody likes to say that it's just, there's that air that's being circulated.
And I was on the small plane, so it was just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Got him.
Gotcha.
All right, y'all. Be well. Hey, have a good one.
There it is. SARS Jude. Jude SARS.
I did the SARS like, baby, I'm hopeless.
I heard there was a CDC warning Centers for Disease Control about a second round of flu going around. Which is, I mean, holy shit. Because this winter has already been something, and I've been in touch with people.
Is it time to SARS mask up?
Maybe it is.
I mean, are you, at this point, if someone's like, really, you have a SARS mask on, I'd be like, second wave of flu, bruh.
Yeah, I'd rather be judged for 15 seconds by a stranger than endure that again. And it's totally global. My wife has business dealings with China, and her people over there all had it when we had it. I had a pleasant Facebook conversation with somebody in London who had it at the same time we have it. Everybody in the goddamn world has this.
Well, fuck that. I ain't getting in. I don't get on the plane.
Yeah. Except that we are, hopefully, fairly soon.
When?
I don't know. Well, not this week or anything, but been hearing rumors swirling of a Canadian trip. Long awaited, long overdue. Yeah. So about the boxing thing, here's what you want to do. If you want to fight Joe Rogan, or who's the other guy?
Adam Carolla.
Right. Pick a fight with somebody who is dear to them, and then murder that person in the ring.
Brendan Schaub. It's a foolproof plan.
Like Drago them.
Well, Adam Carolla's best friend is Dr. Drew Pensky.
So murder Drew. You don't have to murder him, but really like push him around. Like let him think it's like a charity fight or something, and then he can.
Okay, yeah. And then fuck him up. Right.
And then you call out Carolla.
Right. I mean, he's in. Look, I saw a video. I follow him on Instagram, and he's in there hitting pads in his studio. And it's like, whoa, and I'm like, let's go. For charity, let's go. It's just these are my idols. Adam Carolla and Joe Rogan. They're the guys. I mean, I'd probably. What about if they race me? Nobody does it. Nobody ever does it. I think. I tried to race Twitch. I couldn't get a race. I tried to race Ken. He won't race me. Kerry Hart tried to make him throw me off a bike. He wouldn't do it.
I definitely feel like one of the features of the podcast world is people like kind of cultivate their fan bases, and then once they have one that's like a size that they're happy with, they don't really have to go outside of it and promote if they don't feel like it.
I know, but I don't have to do that, and I want to. I've always been like that.
Well, but that's the thing is they would have. There's one or two reasons why they would do it is because they thought it was a good career move, or because they personally wanted to do it. And if they don't personally want to do it, then you're back to.
You know what? I can see that. I feel like the bigger the show, the more I do outside of the show, the less I would be excited about doing other people's shows now.
Yeah.
But I would say yes to everybody. I mean, I've done people's podcasts. I don't even know who they are, and they're like, I think they have 10 subscribers or something.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't value my time all that highly. I say yes to people. Heineken had... I thought that this was...
It's racist!
Much ado about
Because they're
nothing.
German like Andrew. Bunch of racist beer-drinking Nazis.
This is insane.
Just jokes.
I cannot believe that this is true. This is a couple days too soon to be an April Fool's thing, and it would have been a terrible April Fool's joke anyway. I thought they simply used the slogan, sometimes lighter is better,
Yeah.
to describe Heineken Light.
Yes.
And I thought that this was manufactured internet outrage. But I did not realize until I read the story that there is an advertisement where the beer passes in front of some dark-skinned people before stopping in front of a light-skinned person.
Oh, fuck off. Are you fucking serious? Well, how did not one camera guy or some sound boom fucking extra, the fucking actor, the black guy, how come the black guy didn't go, hey, wait, it ends at the light skinned girl and it's better?
I have not watched the ad. I read the article in its entirety. I thought that there were a number of very dark-skinned people. I'm only seeing one dark-skinned person. Can we see the...
Man, if this ad goes anywhere where
Okay, so
an
bartender...
Asian
this
girl is
lady.
drinking Chardonnay, he flicks a Heineken past a black girl,
Past Michelle Indegnicello.
past the black guy playing bass,
Past Grace Jones.
past the black girl to the white guys. The white girl who's got the Heineken. He didn't. Lower calories tastes great. Heineken Light. They didn't say anything about whiter is better. My only thing is...
Well, that's this. It says it on the screen, though.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Lighter is better.
Oh, yeah, up in the corner. My bad. No, but they're putting that there. I just don't understand why
it said it on the screen as
why
well.
did the beer have to go past only black people? You know what I mean? Like, you were in the clear if it had gone past a mixture of people. It only passes black people! Why is there a black guy on the stage by himself jazzing out? And that girl...
Yeah, sometimes lighter is better. See, it says it on the screen.
I mean, they did say sometimes, Michael. They didn't say all the time it's better.
Right. So
Man,
dark beers are fine in their place.
I'm the opposite. I don't want to have sex with, like, midnight ladies. Does that make me wrong?
No.
What's that really black girl with the short hair who's a model? I want to... Man, she's hot as fuck.
Yeah, she's pretty. I know who you mean.
Yeah, see, of course you do. Yeah.
I definitely, at one point, I will have a frank conversation with my son about... There might come a time where I think that my son is just growing up in such like he's just around all different kinds of races, so I'm assuming he'll date all different kinds of races. I grew up in a very, very, very white area, so I dated very, very white people, and now I'm at a point in my life where I just wish I had tried a lot of things that I'm not going to try now. And look, it's not cool to objectify people and be like, oh, I want to have sex with a black chick, so I'm going to go find a black girl and have sex with her. But like, whatever. When you're at a certain age, you are just kind of hunting big game. You know, instead of just trying to fuck every white chick I met, I should have tried to fuck every single chick I met.
That's what I did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
And I'll tell my son, when you are indiscriminately objectifying women and having
Don't
sex
leave
with
anybody
them,
out.
yeah, and having sex with them when you know that you're not going to be in a relationship with them and you might end up breaking a couple hearts or whatever. Like, just do it with everybody.
Man, I remember the first black girl I slept with in America, and they were like, people were trying to like tell me to leave, and I was like, leave? Are you insane? Like, it was the coolest thing ever. I loved it.
Who was telling you to leave?
I'm not gonna say. He's a famous skateboarder.
Oh, I gotcha. Let's see what else is going on. Some family lost their cat.
Yeah.
And it was rainy, and the 18-month-old cat Willow disappeared after it went out at night during heavy storms, and they put the signs up everywhere. Has anyone seen Willow? And like 10 days later, they found the remains of a dead cat on a busy road right outside their home, and they're like, oh fuck, that's what happened to Willow. So they buried Willow, and this was devastating to their children, who are 7 and 4 years old, and they had a touching memorial service, And so they were gobsmacked. 2 days later,
Willow showed up.
Turned up at their house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's this shit about somebody bit Beyonce on the face? I don't watch the news. Is that
Right.
true?
Tiffany Haddish, a comedian that is in movies that Sam Tripoli was speaking glowingly of the last time he was in here.
He didn't like her?
No, Sam loves Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Tiffany used to do all of Sam's shows before Tiffany could do anybody's shows.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
She bit Beyonce's face?
No, she said that she was at a party and somebody bit Beyonce's face.
Like bit party funny face bite, or like bit it to eat it?
I don't know. I'm not aware of Beyonce having been walking around with any severe bite marks on her face, so I don't know how serious it was, but...
There's a picture from the party where Beyonce is hiding half her face. She warned Tiffany, you don't have to go after this woman. She's on drugs. So it was kind of a big deal, and now Twitter is trying to figure out which chick it is. And they think they've narrowed it down at this point.
That a chick on drugs that's a celebrity bit her face in an aggressional manner, is what you're saying?
So...
Because they're throwing it on drugs in the story.
I'll read you the exact quote from Tiffany Haddish. Near the end of the party, Beyonce's at the bar. So I said to Beyonce, did she really bite you? She was like, yeah, she's gonna... And I said, she's gonna get her ass beat tonight. Beyonce said, Tiffany, no, don't do that. That bitch is on drugs. She's not even drunk. That bitch is on drugs. She's not like that all the time. Just chill.
Wow.
So to me, that implies that this has to be somebody that Beyonce knows reasonably well.
Doesn't want to beat her up, but it also kind of tells me that Beyonce is awesome for saying, look, don't worry about it. She's on drugs. She bit my face. I don't need to mess her up, when, you know, she could get messed up. Like, Beyonce is the kind of person that could get you messed up.
Yeah, and just
wait, it seems like you're pointing a finger at a particular lady here.
It's pronounced Sana, according to,
Oh, I know her. She's fucking smoking. I love her. But you're saying she's on drugs?
face biting drugs.
That's what they're saying. Are we talking bath salts like trying to pack a lunch on her face? Or are we talking, Beyonce, yeah, and bit her on the cheek?
Gotta be more like the second one.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise everybody would know.
Well, and they didn't...
Okay. You can do... No, I can tell... Look, I know some people that do blow and drink. And when they do too much blow and drink, they are one fucking notch off Andy Dick. They are fucking firestorms from hell. I've never seen that person bite someone's face, but if they fucking did it, I wouldn't flinch me at all. They're already like, grab people, and they'll turn around, they're like, you don't even know. And I'm like, oh my god, that is a monster in the room. Somebody will come over and say, hey, maybe it's time you leave. And that's a huge celebrity.
Right, but let's remember Beyonce said she's not even drunk. She's just on drugs. Does it still sound like cocaine? Because to me, that guy, the face,
even more so,
the face drunk, the face biting high guy is also very drunk.
Yes, yeah, you're right, but you can't. You know as well as I do. You can't do smack and bite people's faces, dude. It's an upper. You know what I mean? Like maybe meth.
Maybe.
Because meth, maybe you can stay awake so much that you do stupid shit and bite someone's face.
Maybe.
And the other thing is when you're on meth and you freak out, a lot of people don't want to retaliate to meth heads. They're so whacked out that they're so irrational that you're rationalizing when you see them talking to you. You will rationalize it that you need to get out of this in all way possible, and to get one back to win is not worth it.
Yeah.
In my meth confrontals that I've had in my life, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I agree to whatever it is that you are saying. I just want to get out of here because you're gonna eat your own face.
Or mine.
Yeah. No, because I'm leaving because I feel like my face is on the menu.
So this is late breaking shit. As of this morning, when I was looking into this, I didn't see this Sanaa Lathan lady's name. So obviously they are beating a path to her door now to get her comment, I'm assuming. Okay,
and they haven't got it yet. But I'm assuming she was at the party.
She tweeted a faint denial saying, y'all are funny. Under no circumstances did I bite Beyonce, and if I did, it would have been a love bite. Oh, I read that earlier. I did. That was before she had been fingered as the most obvious suspect. All right, well.
I mean, can it be... I mean, a love bite is weird on the face. But look, you know, sometimes dudes kiss my fucking head. I don't know what the fuck that is. But sometimes...
Like where on your head?
On my fucking temple or something.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? But dudes do it. You know?
Yeah.
And I could imagine somebody... I mean, if I'm a celebrity and you kissed my head, some other celebrity could come and go, dude, you can just fucking let that... That's fucking... I mean, if you want me to fucking get someone to handle that, I'll fucking handle it. Maybe on a girl's... Because we're talking about high-level divas here, man.
Yeah.
You bit the diva's face. Maybe another diva was like, did somebody bite the diva's cheek? Because that ain't...
Let's not forget, though, Beyonce's sister is a fucking nightmare. And she deals with her sister all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Remember her sister, like, beat up Jay-Z in the elevator?
Yes, she's
so
a
maybe
full-blown moron.
when you're with that brand of crazy all the time, you become you're a little bit lighter on your feet when that brand of crazy rears its head.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
No, as a matter of fact, she's like, no, please don't make it any worse.
Yeah.
Trust me, poking the bear, in my experience, has just made things worse. Just let it go, baby. People try to bite my face all the time.
Right?
As in, my sister.
My sister. I think we've cracked this. I really do.
Yeah. Maybe it was her sister that bit her.
Maybe it was her sister.
I mean, was she there at the party? Because that's the one you don't blame.
Right?
Bitch kicking Jay-Z. That dude could fucking have your head.
Does she still get invited to family parties?
I know, right? Like, is she
That
not...
tells you everything you need to know about their relationship. Is I'm sorry, I can't think of her, Solange. If Solange still gets invited to parties, then Jay-Z is the bitch in that relationship. It's simple.
The fuck is that? Solange Knowles?
Yes.
Man, she is a dud.
She had one song that I really liked, but then I also heard that what happened was some songwriter sent her like a demo of a song that, you know, because it's not unusual for artists to have other people write their songs.
Yeah.
And
she just did it.
and she did it and put it out, and that's cool and that's fine and everything. But then we're like, oh my God, Solange, you're so creative! Wow, this, because I really do like the song. I think it's a really cool song. And it, supposedly at a certain point, he was playing people his demo just to be like, just so we're clear here, she took my track and she mimicked my vocal exactly. And so great if you like the song, but be under no illusions about who's like. There's no artistry on her part involved in that song. Wow. Yeah. So for a second, I was like, oh shit, maybe Solange has a little bit of talent, because she's certainly been trying. It's gotta be tough being in that kind of shadow. Particularly when it was very obvious when I was in pop radio that she was being groomed for, oh, if you love this one, wait till you hear our next one. And Beyonce delivers on everything that's promised, and then much, 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 much more. And Solange is just Solange in it.
Well, I mean, she has 3.5 million followers, and she's following 120 people.
Yeah, I guess she's doing
So that kind of means, it tells me that she could just get a check that supports her for the rest of her days from that alone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think she did for a minute, and then yeah, the song that I liked is more cool. You know, it's more more received by like the indie crowd. Speaking of celebrities and insane amounts of drugs, a leaked toxicology report seems to indicate that Prince had a truly insane amount of fentanyl in his body when he passed away.
As much as you could get in there, right?
To put things in perspective, people have died from a blood concentration of as little as 3 micrograms of fentanyl per liter of blood.
Yeah.
3 can kill you. Has been known to kill people. And it seems like people, the highest number seems to be around 58 micrograms per liter that you can pack in there before you die.
Mm-hmm.
Prince was 67.8, so a full 10 higher. Or 3 dead people higher than the nearest.
And you got to take into account that he's like 110 pounds as well.
Right.
Like, he wasn't even a fucking full-size human.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That tells me that sometimes when he was playing on stage, he was sailing. Like, really sailing.
And yet, I don't know that there's any... I know that there was the weird illness stuff towards the very end of his life, which we can all kind of make our assumptions about looking backward, but I don't know that there's any footage or any allegations that there were ever any concerts where he was performing at anything less than full Prince.
Yeah. No, he's on fire every
Pull
time.
him up.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And as long as we're talking about celebrities, DMX is facing jail time for unpaid taxes.
Yeah.
And is actually saying all the right stuff. He said, yeah, I hired people to handle this, but if I hire them to handle it, then that means I'm responsible for their actions, and you know, if I got to do the time, I got to do the time. It often does seem like it's not as devastating to DMX to go to jail as it would be for the likes of you and I.
Yeah.
And his while he faces this 5-year prison sentence, apparently his lawyers have decided that if the judge understands the real DMX, he might take a more open and soft-hearted approach to sentencing. And in that spirit, they are planning to play DMX's songs.
Which ones?
This I can tell you exactly which ones.
Okay, because you got to watch that.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything.
Don't do da-dan, 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 da-dan. Don't do that.
No, maybe Give to the Needy would be.
Yeah.
Show that he's a kind-hearted man.
Yeah.
The song "The Convo" from
Yeah.
"Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood."
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one. And "Slippin'."
Yeah. No. Oh, just play Slippin' and then walk out. This song's sick. Yeah. All right, stop.
I forgot. God, I like
Timeless.
I love DMX.
One of the greatest.
Yeah, the other one is from It's Dark and Hell is Hot. He's great.
Yeah. So no da-dan, 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 da-dan. Don't put me in jail, guy. It's not gonna work out.
I would really rather listen to a DMX album, like a classic one, top to bottom, than any Tupac album. Is that weird?
No.
I feel like times
Top to bottom, DMX has him covered.
right.
Yeah, because he gets weird and cheesy. He makes up weird songs about, you know, dear mom. I don't know. Some of them I don't like. Anyway, we have a guest who'll be on shortly. So Aubrey Marcus after this on the Jason Ellis Show.
Jason, can you drop us off with the temperature?
You think it's cold?
It's actually a lot warmer than it usually is.
Do you like this?
I'm comfortable. And I'm the biggest wuss with the green room.
No, you're not, dude. Because see ya. I got fucking problems, dude.
Are you cold in here?
No, but I'm cold in there.
It's definitely different. Let me see. Okay, so I'm comfortable in here. I'd wear a hoodie out here. I don't think it's...
Oh shit!
Hi. Hi.
You were coming?
Fucking
Yeah.
tag along here.
What are you doing?
How are you?
Anything else?
See
Coffee?
you.
No? Whatever, just let me know.
You working
Hey.
out?
Gloves.
Sit down. You're working out at Wild Card West, aren't you?
No.
You're not?
I'm at
Wait, you sure? Because I saw you. I'm watching you train this morning. I'm like, that's my old gym.
Box and Burn. That's where I trained for my fight
Okay, Box and Burn
in
is
Santa
not.
Monica.
Yeah, and it's not Wild. It's not Wild Card West.
Have you been there?
Uh-uh.
Because it's near. It's in Venice, right?
It's in Santa Monica.
That's,
Lincoln Boulevard.
That's fucking, what's his name?
Because do you know the Wild Card
Yeah.
West I'm talking about? Where they have. Well, it's Wild Card, like Freddie
Yeah.
Roach owns it, but there's these Boston boxer fire brigade motherfuckers that own that gym, and it's like super snobby Wild Card. Like Wild Card's like
Okay,
shitty,
yeah, yeah.
grungy, like
Grimy,
the
old
carpet is just
school.
like, I'm like, if I fucking fall on the ground here, I'm getting stabbed. This gym is like the super, like when I was training there, Jason Momoa was like, hey man, do I know you? And I'm like, are you the dude from Game of Thrones? He's like, yeah. You skateboard, right? I'm like, are you fucking serious, dude? I loved your shit, man. I'm like, how the fuck do you? And then the wolf thing.
I love him.
He's like, your kid's name's Tiger? I'm like, yeah, why? My kid's name's Wolf. We should hang out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, Box and Burn. I think it's always been Box
It's
and
got to be close. And it looks like it. Like, I was like, are you there? I'm like, man, I love that gym. And I'm like, wait, it's got like a longer bit. I'm like, no, maybe it's
You
not.
should train with Tony one time, just for fun.
I'm
Bronze medalist.
I'll get into it, but
fucking
my
dope.
shit is so broken. I'm gonna get stem cell now because my knee is out again.
Oh, no.
Now it made my hip go out, my IT band and all this shit. And someone was like, if you bring up the company, we'll give you free stem cell. I'm like, when can you make this happen? He's like, whenever you get the MRI. And I'm like, I'll get to the MRI and I'll send it to you. So I'm like, just
That's an easy win. Stem cells expensive.
free stem cell. I'm like,
amazing.
It's not like a free
Here?
case of water.
no, and I had to get, because I'm so mangled, I had to get the MRI on 3 things, and they're like, we won't do it. You have to come in 3 different times. I'm like, I ain't fucking coming in 3 different times. Like, I want all 3. They're wrecked. I want all 3 MRI. And they're like, well, we won't cover it. You can pay for it. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay for it then. And they're like, but then you got to get the stem cell. You know how much that costs? I'm like, to me, it's free.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm good. Don't worry about it.
And they're like, oh. I'm like, that's why I'm okay with paying for these 3 MRIs right now. Because to me, that whole surgery is going to cost me $1,400, which, I mean, Shane Carlin was like, come up to, my guy, and it's 20 grand. I'm like, 20 grand? Who the fuck do you think I am, dude? Like, works. I feel great.
How does Shane Carlin have 20 grand?
I don't know.
Maybe he did a thing for a guy.
He has a job.
Yeah, so do I. I don't have 20 grand.
Yeah, good.
Do you have a drink? Do you want anything?
I'm good. Thank
Faction Talk.
So this skater named Pool Fiend, right? He hits pools. He hit me up on Instagram. I never met the dude, and he's like, "Yo, I've been to that pool. That ghost was watching us skate too.
Yeah.
Trip out, bro."
No, I won't.
No, but it was heavy, dude.
So did you shake it off your back, or did you just
No, I
wait till
couldn't.
it got
I
off?
couldn't, man. It was like the second I left, I got my energy back. He moved like a flash.
Now
Like,
you see him, now you don't.
yeah, it was a
How
trip
many times
because
have you
could see
hit
it
your
all.
head, Rick Thorne?
I don't know. I got knocked out twice last month. I fell.
I hate to do that to you, Rick Thorne.
No,
Especially in front of all these people.
I don't care. I know what I saw, dude.
I bet you if you show me a picture of the some people who see him and the picture of the some people who don't, I'll be able to guess which is which.
Researchers in Connecticut have uncovered nature's greatest pain reliever.
Sex.
Blowjob.
Yeah,
Got me.
exactly right. Yeah, orgasms.
Wow, and we were right. That's crazy.
Anyone else?
I just was saying blowjob because that's on my mind. He could have ordered coffee and I would have said, I'll have a blowjob.
Everybody in the room correctly guessed because of the endorphins, oxytocin, and other feel-good hormones released when we release. Hello and welcome back, Aubrey Marcus.
Yes, Aubrey Marcus, who has a new book that I have reading.
Man, you read it.
I haven't read it all. Do you know how? Have you seen me read?
But I saw.
I mean, I'm fucking okay. Ask Katie. I'm putting effort in, but I'm not. I mean, reading a whole book is like
that counts, though,
I put half an hour in. I'm like, okay, I learned some shit, but fuck, dude, reading hurts because it doesn't. I don't get the flow like you do. I go. I'm like, God damn it! Can't stop reminding myself how badly I'm reading this. I'm like, I need this to make sense to me. So maybe I have to go over it again real quick. But I got to the sex bit and I was like, okay, I'm okay here. I might out. I said before you came on, I might out fuck Aubrey. But in every other department on the planet, I cannot match this man at all.
We're having a fuck off.
No. Well, actually, no, we are. Yeah. Because I know what that entails. Why aren't you mic'd up? Come on, I want to do. If we're having a fuck off, you're in it. Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, me and Aubrey have a fuck off, and it's just me and Aubrey. You win, Aubrey. Whitney needs to be in the fuck off, and then I can really demonstrate, Aubrey, how great I could be.
Stuff more M&Ms in that giant hog of yours.
Oh no.
I don't know about the fuck off. The gauntlet is thrown.
Well, maybe I'll put all the M&Ms in there and start fucking. No one's ever seen that.
That's like PEDs, dog. It's not allowed. You got to read the fine print.
Wait a minute.
Fuck off.
Wait, USADA is in this fuck off? Like,
yeah,
cool
we got to sign. We got to sign a
playing with
bout
USADA.
deal. It's got to be official.
That was the coolest thing I saw Joe Rogan say the other day. Some video of Brendan Schaub going, seriously, how long would it take for you to finish CM Punk? And he was like, not as long as it would take me to go off on the drug test. Because I was like, because he really could kick the shit out of that dude. But it was super big of him to catch the reality of, it's not true though, because I did it. I fought in my fight like you would fight in the UFC because I did not know that you didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. So I stopped my TRT replacement program and fought in King of the Cage with no testosterone. Turns out I had the testosterone of a 90-year-old man. Yeah, so it wasn't a good idea. I wouldn't advise it. But you can, and I did the one where I was like, because then I found out you can do stuff that will help your hormones get it back, not up to where it was, but definitely not like to a 90-year-old man. So my body, like after that fight, everything just shut off, and I had to, and now I'm trying to get everything back.
Think of the courage you had going in there, you know.
Well, I'm gonna, as I said, there arguably on paper it looks like he's better than me, but I did it. I'll do it. That's the difference. Don't want to toot my own horn, but you can fucking talk about it all you want. Get in there. And if you can't get in there, maybe zip it up. I'll be talking about finishing people.
Are you referring to the fuck off again?
I'm referring to yes, I'm referring to the fuck off, and I'll be Joe Rogan, Brendan Sharp, everybody.
I would actually be intimidated going against the fuck off against you, Jason. Because I feel like your boundary set is just pretty wide. In fact, there may not even be walls at the end of your boundary set.
I know if we were going to put I'm going to put boundaries on me to allow you to compete. Because you can't come in. No, my boundary
like no holds barred like UFC 2.
No,
we got to.
I'm not going to go.
UFC 100. Where there's lots of rules.
Watch me have sex with this guy has a vagina. Like that's not fair. Because I know I'll beat you. You'd be like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, well, can't hang. Whitney, get over here and help me with this manly lady. The fuck off. Wins. Sorry. You started this. I did not start it. You gonna talk for a second, or you don't need? You just want to talk? You just want your fucking guy to talk about his book? Yeah, put that on. You're a celebrity in your own right. I mean, at least you're not like Aubrey just talking. You actually you walk the walk.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Just saying. How many?
This is what happened.
How many fights have you had in the ring?
Yeah, none.
Yeah, let's do a documentary on fucking crying, people's arms breaking and shit. And fight some fucking chick that's like, fucking rich people, man, all they deserve is a kick in the dick. And she was gonna fuck you. She fucking hated you. And she had a fucking background that made me think she was gonna beat you.
I thought she was gonna beat me. Just in case I got knocked out, I was like, okay, if I get knocked out, I'm just gonna raise my hand. That was definitely a possibility in my head.
We walked through that potentiality.
You had to. Your fight was very similar to my fight against Gabe Rudiger. I felt like I was in a boxing fight that I was like, you've bitten off more than you can chew. But this is, I've told Telly about it. We're doing this new book about, I don't want it to happen, but I kind of do want to lose to feel it and not so much feel the loss, because I've lost before, to recover from it. And become a better person, because I feel like that's the toughest one to me. Like that fight I had with that last guy, I was losing, and I was like, oh, this will be a rugged bump in the road to get over. But I didn't think it would be that bad. But I didn't get in the locker room with the loss. I just thought for a second when my head was like, whoa, I'm like, wow, I don't know where I am. I guess this is the bit where you lose. And I got out of it. But I did think for a second there, I was like, this is going to be a tough thing in the locker room. But it's not. I don't know what that's like, really.
If you confront it like that, no matter what it is, it's good for the soul. Like, if you're willing to release those things you think you need to know about yourself to make you valid and to make you worthy of love, like, if you just give up and lose and say, like, look, I lost and I'm all right with that, like, that will make you a better person. It just depends on your attitude. But the more you can surrender of those things you think you need, like winning a fuck-off, winning a fight, being this way or that way, you just got to give that stuff up because you think you need it, but you don't. It'll just cause you to be terrified.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the middle of. I feel like my whole game plan is not about. I used to only be about winning, and it has become like. I mean, sometimes I win stuff, and the rest of the time I'm pretty bummed out. So that game plan, I'm like, I want to win at being happy, which sometimes turns out winning the race or the fight is not the objective anymore.
Two of the highest performers that I've met, Lance Armstrong, Bodie Miller.
Yeah.
Lance, whatever, did a bunch of drugs. Everybody knows. Everybody did a bunch
of
drugs.
I don't care. Yeah.
Everybody did drugs. They disqualified like 4.
It sucks you have to put that on the end of it because he's still the gnarliest athlete ever.
People still get super mad. But both of them talk about how they didn't give a fuck about the result. And in fact, the result was kind of annoying to them. Like the whole celebration winning. Because the process, they were so in love with the process and figuring out how they could bleed that last tiny bit of potential out of their run. And that was all they cared about. And that's why they were so fucking good. They focused on the process rather than the result. Because the result ultimately is out of your control. If your bike screws up, if your skis aren't edged right or waxed right or whatever, you may or may not win. But you can control the process. And if you gave it and you sent it and you did everything you could, fuck, you got nothing to worry about.
Yep. If you can look at all that before and afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people that get good at things get in a hurry and get one-track mind and don't add up all the reasons and all the, you know, some
everybody's
people...
result focused, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book the way I did. Is everybody's like, oh, I need to lose 50 pounds. Well, that's a fucking beast. How about you just focus on this one day and all the little choices you can make today, that maybe you start the process heading towards that, but you can own this day, and then own the next day, and then own the next day, and then break the day down even further. Own this hour, the first 3 things you do when you wake up, the choice you make at breakfast. Own that process, and the results take care of themselves. And you don't have to worry about it. It's not overwhelming.
You, somebody actually, because I brought up your book after I first started reading it, that Marcus Aurelius, you got a quote from him in there, and the only reason I know who he is because I watched the book Gladiator, and the only reason I watched Gladiator is because Russell Crowe is Australian, and he was in a movie where he was a skinhead racist, and that bit wasn't the bit that I was into him for. It was just he was very tough in that movie, and we thought he was cool. The whole racist thing really bummed us out, but I from that, like, you read books from him from fucking how many years ago is it?
Like 2,000 years.
That's fucking insane that a 2,000-year-old, like, he's thinking about how he gets up in the morning, analyzing that, and me reading that you'd read his book to get that on in your book. I'm like, man, it made me realize that if I stay alive and my body doesn't work that good, I won't be that bummed out, because there's all this book shit that's coming for a guy that's learning how to read. I'm like,
look at the world.
I would get into reading Marcus Aurelius just knowing that this isn't a fake note that somebody like transferred. Jesus said this. Like he wrote that.
It's his real letters.
And that's so long ago, and I feel like we all kind of repeat cycles. Man. I want to know more about him because of reading your book.
Yeah, I mean, the founder of the Stoic philosophy, that idea that exactly what we were talking about. You take an obstacle like a loss, and then you make it, you know, your advantage. You make it somehow something that you can train yourself to become better for. Like, that Stoic mindset, he was really credited with a lot of that philosophy. Like, looking at resistance and using it as assistance. Like, oh, this fucking shitty thing happened. This thing that everybody says is a curse. That's not going to be a curse. That's going to be my blessing, because I'm going to take whatever it takes to overcome that and be twice as strong and be twice as good because of it. Oh, I just went blind? No worries. I'm going to be able to hear the smallest instrument in a symphony. My touch is going to be on fire. I'm going to be able to do something else. Like, whatever happens, you can take that and decide that it's going to make you a better person for it. And that's what that Marcus Aurelius Stoic philosophy is all about.
See, now I really am going to read his book, because I was talking to Ryan Hughes the other day about, I'm getting older, and doesn't matter what I do. I mean, I've trained, lost a bunch of weight. I still look like shit in the morning. It's just my fucking face is coming off. I was saying, I got a big dirty gay mustache, and it suits my fucking head now, because it's a rugged, chewed up thing, and I go sober. Fuck off. My head looks like shit. It doesn't matter what happens. It just looks like shit now. You got to like come to terms with it. You got to come to terms with finding new things. Like when you just said, I'm going blind, but if I go blind, I'm pissed. But if I can figure out somehow the way, because I was talking about the other day, my face, I'll go on the Instagram live and go, hey everybody, don't forget to check it. Oh my God, what the fuck happened to my head? Man, the camera's too close or something. I never used to think that. Yeah. But now I'm like, people even say, man, you got older. And I'm like, I did. It's coming off. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's other things that are working out in my life, like coming to the conclusion that it's okay for your head to come off.
Everything that we have to let it go. Because death and time will rip that thing from us at some point or another. And it's just whether we dig our fingernails in early and break all our proverbial emotional fingernails as we're clinging to these things we think we need, as time, the undefeated enemy, is going to take it from us. So the more that we can give it away with grace, and even give it away before time takes it, then we're not clinging, we're not grasping, we're not suffering, we're not worried about it. We're just in flow, and that's really a huge lesson that comes from other ancient philosophies like Buddhism. You know, how richly did you live, and how thoroughly did you let it all go? You know, and that's that kind of Zen idea of just enjoying being in the moment and not being attached to all these things, including your body, including your face, including these things that you think are important about you, because they're not.
What about when you get sick? Because we were just talking about a second wave of flu, and I was telling Jude, who came in with a fucking SARS mask on because he's got the flu or something, and he does a lot of drugs and doesn't sleep, or he definitely doesn't take care of himself as much as a normal person would. But a sickness in here, I get worried about it. I know that I am more potentially prone to sickness because of stress. Because I will analyze the fuck out of things to the point where I'll grind myself to a halt over it. And I've got something going for me that I know that's the problem, but I haven't figured it out. But with all the people getting sick and all this stuff, because I told Jude, I'm like, dude, one time I had a hangover of epic proportions. Like, I'm the kind of guy that even when I was drinking, didn't drink all the time, but every now and then I would have this hangover where, we're talking about a day where I got up in the middle of the night in the hotel room and I peed on the floor in my room. I'm a fucking adult with children.
You were drinking something weird that day, like Mai Tais.
It was somebody there. Yeah, dude was buying me drinks. Trust me, this is the one. And I was like, hey, social. I don't know what. I just said yes to everybody's drinks. After two, I was fucking anybody's. So the next day, I came to on it and was like, I'm shutting down, dude. Like, I don't even know if I can be on the show. And I'm like, man, Aubrey's got me in the studio. I'm like, you fucking idiot. And then he's like, here, drink this. Put this fucking pack around your hip. And I'm like, okay, dude. Like, I'll let you go with all this stuff. But I've had way less hangover, and I'm older now. So I'll feel it. Like, I can feel if I had a corn dog with my kids. I feel bad stuff in my body, and that I ended up boxing a little bit, but I swear if I was an hour before the show, if I was to box a little bit, I think I could have had a heart attack. But from whatever the drink he gave me, from whatever the pack that he put around me, it made me fucking cured, dude. Like, all this bullshit that I'll call bullshit because I didn't analyze it because I trust Aubrey, and I was like, yeah, just give me the drink, man, whatever it is. So now I feel like that and Alpha Brain, there's a bunch of stuff that you've done where Shroom Tech, where I didn't read it, I did it a bunch of times, and I know that it works. So is there anything that you can help with? Because I haven't known if you've got to
stress and immune system.
Yeah,
100%. So one of the biggest things you can do for your immune system is cold therapy. So cold exposure, and you're going to want to get like full cold exposure, about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, about as cold as it can go.
Are you talking? Is this the shower thing?
This is, or the shower thing, or an ice bath, or full body cryo, something like that. Because here's what ends up happening. So
normal people that don't train should do cryo, you're saying?
1,000%. There's a study that shows that people who do regular cold exposure have 42% less respiratory tract infections, which is significant. Like 42% is a significant reduction. And part of the reason is it jacks up this one hormone called norepinephrine. And norepinephrine helps balance out your chronic stress. And so it really drops your chronic stress, drops your chronic inflammation, and so that your body is more capable of handling these immune challenges. So whereas like that old wisdom is, don't go out in the cold, you'll catch a cold. Well, that's bullshit. It's the same bullshit that someone says, don't eat fat or you'll get fat. Like, a lot of these things that we think are truisms are absolutely not only wrong, but backwards. Like, you need short bursts of acute cold in order to reduce your chances of getting cold and also reduce that chronic stress.
Man.
Yeah. So, and that's what I wanted to go through. And this stuff, like, every little thing is not that hard. Like, turning that shower nozzle from hot to cold, it takes some willpower, it takes some practice.
Because I thought, if you're going to put on the end of it that it's not that hard, because I had to talk to Aubrey a couple months about this, ladies and gentlemen, and I was like, okay, I will do it, Aubrey, and I will do the shot of vinegar fucking puke shit, I swear. I did it. I must have done it wrong so many times that in the end, when I would see the bottle in the kitchen, I would start to vomit. Because I was like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to drink it again. I can't. I'm going to vomit before I get it to my mouth. But the cold, Aubrey was like, just every shower you have, man, you just flick it to cold and just hang in there until you get used to it. I'm like, right, how hard could that be? I don't know.
The hardest thing ever.
Dude, it is the worst shit ever. Like, Katie
all right, so check this out. Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Is this movement of your hand, turning your hand clockwise, is that hard? Is that hard?
Now I'm talking to my therapist.
No.
This is awesome.
Wait.
Here we go.
Wait, is that hard?
And the ice slaps.
No, Aubrey, it is not hard.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, so that movement is not. Now, do you control your hand? That's going to do that?
I'm gonna fucking leave. This
Do you
is fucked.
control your hand, or does something else control your hand?
I control my hand.
Now, do you control your feet that keep you underneath the shower?
Oh, I control my finger too. See that?
So actually, none of this is actually very hard. What's hard is having the willpower to know that you're going to go through a temporary amount of pain for a long-term, day-long, lifelong benefit. And so that's like just having a little bit of courage.
You guys, we shower together in the morning, and it's like a stressful thing for me now. Because
Oh, he makes you do it with him.
oh no, he surprises me with it because we have two heads.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll walk over
That's
and
the
grab
move.
the soap, and I come back, and it's just like.
And but then you just go, okay, sounds good. I stay.
No, I run away to the
Okay.
other side of the shower. Like,
I was gonna say,
damn it, I
'cause
hate
that-
showering with you now.
Yeah, I can't.
We got some work on that to do. We were filming a video for on the day, and they had a camera crew in the shower. We had our bathing suits on. We had a camera crew in the shower, and we were both supposed to turn it cold. And Whitney's in there shivering and doing the breathing, the Wim Hof breathing, which is also great. Hyperoxygenates the body, lowers blood pressure. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself, combining the breath and the cold. And she's in there breathing and shivering, and I have mine blasted on full cold, and I'm just kind of talking to the camera. And then I go over and I feel her water, and it's lukewarm.
Oh, you
And
fucking-
She was fucking faking it. Just straight up
You make it-
just Hollywood in the
Yeah, I'll
shower.
back
Well,
that.
call me a genius.
I back that. Fucking, that's
right?
the worst. After 3 weeks of doing it, because Katie would get used to it, she'd know. Because I'd be like, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then after a week, she knew what I was doing. But it would get like I would the hand. Oh, you have to do the hand thing, and I'd look at the thing and I'd be like, "Fuck, man, I just don't feel like doing it today, man. Maybe I don't even need to be that awake today. Maybe I just fucking snore one. Like, fuck." It's tough to make that hand go there
You know,
all the time.
that same thing is the thing that prevents people from going to the gym. It's the same thing that prevents people from looking at a menu and making the right choice versus the other choice. It's just pandering to our own comfort versus that more Spartan austerity, that ethos that says, I'm going to fucking do what's good for me because it's going to feel good. Not only like, it's only a few moments of the cold before it actually starts to feel good. So like, can I endure 1 minute of suffering to benefit my life? Like, you need to practice that courage because that shows up all the fucking time in emotional stuff and spiritual crises and work things when we're procrastinating and you know you should start something or you need to get writing or you need to get somewhere. Like that same muscle you're training, you can train it in the shower. And that's one of the other huge benefits of it is just train your ability to force you to do the things that are good for you. Because most of us know what's good for us. We just don't have the strength to do it. And this is a good way to practice that. You want to get good at anything? Fucking practice it.
It's a crazy thing to say, but if people could do exactly what they wanted to do, the world would be like a substantially better
Holy
place.
shit, we'd
Yeah.
be fucking superheroes.
Right.
You know? Like this book gives you a ton of other awesome stuff and cuts through all the clutter and all the bullshit that's out there and gives you a really good plan. But most of us already know most of the stuff we should do. There's just a few dangerous areas. Dangerous areas being like, don't have salt, don't eat fat, the cold is bad for you. Like, we got to reverse some of those ideas. But other than that, most people know what they should do and just really need to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's things in your new book that, because the government lies more these days because they don't have, the food they're giving you is not that good. So every now and then when you're trying to eat right, you might get sent down a road where you're consuming stuff that, because I have people call for the general basic knowledge of, you know, I mean, hey man, if I eat this, is that good or is that bad? And you know, you have a little bit of meat and you have a little bit of this. It's like, well, if it's processed, then it's not really worth doing it. And I don't think everybody knows that.
No, there's all kinds of little traps too. Like, so how many parents feed their kids like yellow Kraft mac and cheese? I mean, I grew up eating that shit, like in those yellow Kraft singles.
Yeah.
Well, the dye they use in there, yellow number 6, is directly linked in clinical studies to hyperactivity, ADD,
Yeah.
along with sodium benzoate, another preservative. So everybody's like, oh yeah, you know, my kid's got ADD. Well, have you stopped feeding it the poison that causes ADD
Wow.
as a first strategy? You know, like, people just don't know the stuff. So, you know, this book will give you more knowledge, and then you still have to make the choices. You're still going to have to tell your kid, hey, let's go with the Annie's mac and cheese
Yeah.
that doesn't have the dye, or let's actually maybe just shred our own cheese on some pasta.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take that much longer to do. And make these like simple choices, like still eat the burger, just maybe choose grass-fed beef so it has more CLA and it's better for you. Still have the cheese, but maybe choose, instead of that yellow bullshit, some raw cheddar cheese or something that you can put on there.
You could just switch it out for avocado. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm like, fucking cheese, whatever.
Yeah, because you really just want the fat. Like, your body's smart. Your body knows that it wants fat. A lot of people's cheese obsession is really a fat obsession, you know, because the body is starving for fat. It's one of our preferred fuel sources, and the more we take it in, the more we get adapted to that, the more the body burns off the own fat storage that we have itself. So, you know, in a lot of ways, we're craving that, but instead we just keep giving the body sugar, you know, and then that metabolic ping pong starts, ending in obesity, diabetes, and all the bullshit, just fatigue that we feel.
I heard that there's one of the food dyes that they use in Ritalin is one of the artificial colors that's been linked to hyperactivity.
Oh, wow.
Right. Makes sense. If you're a drug dealer, that is the fucking move. There's a dope song by Macklemore about what's it called?
There's no dope song from that.
It's called Drug Dealer. It's good. It's good. Talks about, you know, about that mentality.
Yeah, one just has like a really good message behind big pharma and doctors being our drug dealers, basically.
I mean, it's an easy beatdown for these people that. I mean, it's so obvious that I've always said to Michael, everyone gets all these pills whenever they want. I was a full-blown junkie who came in with like shit broken, legitimate breaks. They would never give me a second jar of painkillers. Ever!
Because your head tattoo. Yeah.
No. This is when a pro skateboarder. Now they'll give me everything because I got a fucking job at Sirius. And they're like, whoa, whatever you want. I'm like, I don't want any of it. But what about when I was like just skateboarding all day and I would come in and I'm like, my wrist is broken and, you know, in a lot of pain when they, you know, were on a scale and I'd be like, I'll put it up to fucking, you know, 9 or whatever. Like, it's not. And painkillers. I'm like, yeah, painkillers fucking killing me.
Ibuprofen 800, go for it.
Dude, so many times the doctor tried to say, what about ibuprofen? I'd be like, what about ibuprofen? Both bones in my arm are broken. At least 1 jar of fucking Vicodins.
Yeah, I'd like to meet these pusher doctors because I know a lot about them. And my dentist, I'm like, no, this is pretty painful. He's like, well, then take 3 at
Yeah, I never got any of them. I shattered my wrist and had pins in it. And I got Percocets, and I never had Percocets before, and I was like, yeah! And I was just chewing them and drinking them bong rips and just like, woo, Percocets! And I called the doctor, I'm like, I need more Percocets! He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no? It's killing me! He was like, no, go fuck yourself. And then I skated again in a contest with it, because I cut it off from my shoulder down to the arm so I could move it, and I slammed really hard and hit it on the ground. And I just did the old, do my fingers move? And they did. So I was like, it's okay. And then like 2 days later, I was asleep and I smelt this real bad smell under the pillow. And I woke up and I'm like, what is that? And I smelt my cast and I'm like, oh shit, something is like rotting in there. So my hand surgeon was in Santa Barbara and I lived in Hollywood. And I drove up to Santa Barbara and by the time I got halfway up there, the pain was like really crazy. And I started rocking back and forth. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm in real big trouble over here. And I get in there and...
blowjob first, as the first round of pain relief?
He did not. He did not.
He was not a naturopath?
He saw my cast cut off to my elbow and was like, not talking to me. Went into a room. He came out with the grinder thing and went... And I was like, ah! Once again, did not talk to me. This is the guy that when I went in there the first time was like, you know how many golf players I have coming here? And I was like, no, how many? None. Idiot. And I'm like, I'm skateboarder. I didn't mean to. Why is this guy mad at me? Yeah. And so then when I come in there, and I've got the scar from the grinder where he grinded my arm open because he was so angry at me. Rips the cast off and the pin had popped out of my arm and it was twirling around and it made the meat come out. And the meat in the cast that was out of my arm was rotting on the outside of my arm. So he just rips it off, gets the pliers, rips the pin out. Like, no, still not talking to me.
Do you have it? Do you have any like numbing?
Nothing. No. He just grabbed the pliers. I was like, ah! Yeah, he was fucking pissed, and then like pushed the meat back in. And
this sounds like a scene from Braveheart, not like a doctor. It's like hold him down.
He wasn't nice to me at all. And then he just like was like, and then I had to argue to have painkillers again. I'm like, I'm going insane. The pin's out. I'm like, it's still hurting. It'll take a
You
while.
at least need like a swig of whiskey and a
He
stick.
didn't
you
give
can
me
bite
another
down on
jar. He
something.
gave me painkillers at the desk and not a prescription.
You're like, dude, my arm is rotting
Mm-hmm.
off.
Buy a bottle of Jack Daniels and a
Maybe
pizza.
he knew you were so rich in blowjobs that you had the best natural pain relief. There was just blowjobs available in the universe for you in
Right.
such abundance that he
At the
was
time,
like,
it wasn't that glorious. Yeah, no, it wasn't that. Nope.
Nope.
It was pretty tough.
all right, well,
How
Blood-
old were you when this happened?
Like 25. I just had this section of. I think I might have like. Just got. I don't know. I have waves, and it was a wave where I was like really busy skateboarding, so I wasn't fucking. It was like a wave where I was like I was probably doing really well, and when I did really well, I went to the bar and I was like, oh, I totally want to fuck you, boy. And then I would just walk off on the lady and be like, ah, she's got cocaine. And there was no more like, oh, isn't he cute? Like nobody thought I was cute when I was standing on tables demanding cocaine. No lady was like, "Oh, what's your room number?" So yeah, that was bleak, but I was a badass, so
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
the thing about all these pharmaceuticals is like they can be miracles, and I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah, because some of them work.
Some of them work, and some of them are super important. Like you get a urinary tract infection, thank God for antibiotics.
Right.
You know, you get in an occasional pinch, like all right, maybe you're so stressed you can't sleep, you're on the road, you take a little Xanax to help you go to sleep or something like that. Just know that these are temporary solutions, and that the body is not a faulty machine. It will fix itself if you give it the input. But if you stay on crutches your whole life, your whole foot and your leg is going to atrophy. The same thing if you stay on this medication your whole life. That system that you need to support is going to atrophy. So use all of this like crutches temporarily to get you over something, and then from there, you know, wean yourself off and find those times to really deeply recover. Let the body do what it does best.
When you talk about sex in your new book, I Own the Day. Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. That you can pre-order now on Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
OwnTheDayBook.com. Check it out if you can.
Oh yeah, and AubreyMarcus.com as well. But what was I going to say before I just fucking plugged
Sex.
it? Yeah. Is there any crutches that people use in sex that you talk about in the book?
I think the biggest point about sex, well, there's a couple of things. One is preparing yourself physiologically and knowing like what foods will support nitric oxide, because nitric oxide helps with the blood flow, and blood flow is good for your muscles, but also good for your genitals, good for your happiness levels and whatever. So I talk a lot about that, like hormones, and then like pro-sex foods. So that's one part. So like beets, arugula, dark chocolate, watermelon, Swiss chard. A lot of these.
The
foods,
fuck is Swiss chard?
It's like a leafy vegetable with like a red vein in it. You know.
We talked about this with Tom.
Yeah.
It's Kale's gay European cousin.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
So
Why didn't
like,
you just say that?
So these things help natural nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like the gate that decides whether the blood opens or closes. So a lot of people with kind of like ED issues, like, oh, I need to get some Viagra, or maybe you just need to add more beets to your diet. Maybe you need to do some of these things. So we talk about some of that stuff. But when it gets into the actual sex, a lot of this is talking about leaving the ego at the door. You know, because all of us think we're fucking LeBron James when we go knocking into that bedroom.
Yeah.
We're like the perfect specimen of sexual performance. We're not. None of us are. Like,
Well, I am, but yeah.
There's a lot that we can learn, and I think just being a little bit more of a student instead of pretending you're the master and masking your insecurities about that, and just being like, oh, look, I'm a student. What can I learn from my lover today? Like, which direction can I take this, and how can I make it interesting? How can I expand the polarity, the power exchange? How can I make something fun? You know, playing with the tools that we have available. So we try to give kind of like a whole spectrum of how to approach sex the right way.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
also
like
sex too, like sex isn't just when the dick enters the pussy. Like
you
sex,
don't say.
Sex is like, it starts from the conversation, like the moment you see him, like this whole thing all the way through to the end. Like we have such a narrow definition. Like it's possible to have amazing sex without penetration. Like I know it sounds crazy, but it's fucking possible. And that's like something that people need to realize. Like all of this focus on just fucking pounding away, and that's your like road to glory. There's like so much more to that, and it'll just get better and better.
Well, isn't sex, the definition of it, anything that increases the chance of orgasm?
Yeah, that was a definition in a book that we just read. Like, sex is anything that increases, leads to an increase in the chance of orgasm. So that's all of the things associated.
Like Whitney just being here.
Yeah, exactly. She basically is just fucking us right now.
Yeah, I mean, every time you talk, I'm having sex. I don't know if everyone else in here, but I never thought that until right now. But yeah, it turns out totally. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me. You gonna fight anymore, Psycho, or are you done?
I mean, I'm always thinking about it.
Call her out.
Yeah. Kickboxing.
No, I don't want to call. I'll call you.
Call her out. She's got someone she wants to call out.
I'll call you in. Is what I'm that's my age. I'm about to Joe Rogan you. I'm about to join those guys and be like, it's not worth it.
I had so much fun though. I loved it.
I said I was about to join them. I haven't joined them yet. You should do it.
Ellis. One kickboxing and one MMA.
That's the only thing that I would contemplate is a kickboxing fight, because I always had that thing of trying to have a fight in all striking genres. So yeah, exactly. That would be my last one.
Just come fight for Glory.
Glory will put him on. Yeah,
I work for Glory now.
Yeah, but I follow you. What the fuck, man? You're my friend. I follow you. I know.
Making sure, jeez.
I watch Glory. I know you're talking to everybody. You're like around the world and shit, flying to Europe and talking to the greatest strikers in the world.
It's amazing.
And you know what I don't like is Brendan Sharp said kickboxing is boring when he was in here. I'm like, okay, dude, I know you work for the MMA boxing community, but don't shit on the middle, all right? Because those dudes knock out people way more than anybody in both of the other genres.
Tons of knockouts.
Yes.
It's like complete mayhem.
I really like Glory.
For anybody who thinks kickboxing is boring, watch that last Rico Verhoeven fight versus that gigantic Goliath.
Jamal bin Sadiq, I think.
Yeah, that big ass dude. That was insane. One of the best fights I've seen in like a long time, and like not many people are talking about it.
Well, in theory, that's what the casual fan asks for from
MMA,
is kickboxing.
Yeah, you don't have to be a hardcore know-it-all to enjoy kickboxing.
People boo when there's too much grappling and too much ground games. So what does that leave? That's what the casual drunken hooligan wants to see, is kickboxing.
And these guys are, I mean, the more you watch it, the more you understand that. I'm not saying anybody in the UFC isn't bad. I'm just like, these dudes kicking. Striking, hand wise, I mean, there's everybody in MMA is just as good or better, but kicking is like some of these dudes. One kick and a normal person's life would never be the same. Like they will fucking break your spine in half.
Anybody who has UFC Fight Pass, watch Israel Adesanya. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Watch his last UFC fight, because he switched from Glory into the UFC, and it's just a fucking masterclass in striking. Like an absolute masterclass. He was on the undercard, so a lot of people didn't see it. But go check that out, because you will see what truly high-level kickboxing, with enough wrestling to keep it on your feet.
Right, just to keep him off.
Yeah, what these guys can do.
Jason, you said you wanted to have a fight in all striking genres. Wouldn't that sort of necessarily include going to like some mining town in Alaska or Alberta or something and just finding a shit kicker and tapping him on the shoulder and like one proper meet me outside the bar?
Well, I'd rather do that. If I'm going to do it, I feel like just some oil miner guy's a little tough.
It would be Paul Varlan's on accident.
Yeah. No, my luck. Yeah, I know, right? No, but I'd rather pick on somebody where I feel like, like I told you, I feel like if I cut off Adam Carolla at the front of his studio, he's like, man, I'm like, fuck you, old man.
I'm telling you,
like, maybe be like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, fuck you, you kook. And then maybe push him, and maybe if I have a wig on, he doesn't recognize me. I mean, he doesn't really know who I am. He's like, you know what you need? I'm like, why don't you fucking tell me what I need? And then, you know what I mean? And then we duke it off in the parking lot, and then I get to slap that guy. You might be bigger than me in podcasting, but you just got nut fuck out.
Trump card, bitch.
The podcast is going to be huge when you're broadcasting from prison, where they sent you after you beat up Adam Carolla. That's an angle. That's a lane.
It's a lane I don't. It's a lane my kids can't wait to drive down. I was going to talk to you about. I've been watching because I know that the fights are coming up, and the Khabib and Tony Ferguson and Conor. So now I'm watching Khabib old fights, Conor, and I'm watching all their fights over and over again. Because I don't believe in everybody else's analyzation of this fight. Because I've heard people that are really good at fighting say this is what's going to happen, and they're fucking wrong. So I don't believe anybody anymore. I'm going to do my own research. And I'm very punchy. So I was like, let me watch these fucking fights again. And I was watching everybody's fights, and I'm like, it's not as one-sided as everybody thinks it is. Like, I don't think it's that impossible for Conor McGregor to knock out both these people. I don't like. I know that Khabib is, really good at everything, and it's the worst matchup ever because he can take Conor down and keep him on, and he can do the same thing to Tony. But they both don't have anywhere near whatever the fuck that left hand is that he does to everybody. I mean, I watched Eddie Alvarez this morning 3 times, and I'm like, if you think maybe Eddie was having the worst day of his career, but Eddie looked like he did not know how to fight in that fight.
Yeah.
And Eddie Alvarez goes the distance with other people, or he knocks out Dos Anjos. Like, everyone's like, oh, he's just a fucking famous guy. I'm like, yeah, he is. He is a bullshit celebrity petard. But he also just so happens to be godlike on his feet. Like, his footwork, the way he hovers, his muscles in his legs, there's some kind of unique balance thing going on there that I believe he can knock out both those fools.
I don't think there's any question about it. And he uses his mind better than anybody else, too. Like, he brings his belief to 100. I think a lot of what you're doing is you're assessing each other's belief, assessing confidence. How confident is he? He comes in at straight 100% confidence, and that fucks people up. Which
I believe the other two have rivaled. They are so confident that I believe that they think that they can do it too. But
so it might neutralize,
right? It might.
They may think they have it, and then they see Conor, and they're like, "Whoa, this guy's really sure."
Well, also,
he's like super sure.
What happens in the lead up? Because how many guys? I'm just going to pick a name. Maybe Jose Aldo was fucking scared of him the entire time.
He wasn't.
I know, right, but maybe 6 months out, no fear. Maybe 3 months out. But does anything happen in the week or the month leading up to it that weakens that a couple of percentage
or angers
points?
them? Because if you find angry.
Yeah, once they start getting into the face-offs and shit like that.
If you're going to talk about who's going to get in someone's head, if anyone was going to get anyone's head, Conor McGregor is the one that stands above those two.
Yes.
But I still, as Aubrey said, these 3 are the most sound of mind. These are the best. These are the 3 best athletes in MMA, I reckon.
Plus, Khabib's fur hat keeps him safe from mental warfare, like tinfoil does.
Yes, exactly.
Keeps him safe from
the government.
Safe from the government. Yeah, I could see. All right, so in my opinion, an totally amateur opinion, I think Conor's risk with Tony is that it goes 5 rounds and he gasses. Similar to what happened with Navy.
Can't you say that about Conor in every fight? If it goes 5 rounds, it's bad for Conor.
Tony is, Tony's cardio is just fucking relentless, right?
Yeah.
Like, so but there's he's gonna touch him, and there's a damn good chance Tony gets knocked out. I think Conor, I would bet a lot of money on Conor against Tony. And then Khabib, I think that one is a coin toss, because every round, at the start of every round, is death. And what are the chances of death at every round? I don't know. What's the percentage of that?
I just think for that fight, because I've analyzed the shit out of that too, is they both don't knock out anybody with one shot.
Conor has the fight ender.
No, I'm saying these two can tag each other and clip each other, but they're both so good at everything else that even if they got hurt, they go to the ground and they start grappling. And if they go to the ground and start grappling, Khabib is on top, and Tony likes to be on the bottom because he has a dangerous guard. And in my experience, if you are the greatest jiu-jitsu person in the world versus the greatest wrestler in the world, you're not going to get that submission. And I feel like Khabib is one of the best, if not the best, in jiu-jitsu defense, while he fucking pounds your face off the whole time. And if Tony's cool with hanging out in there, thinking every now and then he's going to throw up an arm and shit like that, I just feel like that's a bad. I wouldn't want to prefer to be on my back waiting to catch that dude, because I don't think he catch him.
I think Khabib beats Tony, and I think Conor has a really good chance of beating them both. I think it's an easier fight with Tony than Khabib for Conor.
Yeah. I just, after watching the Eddie Alvarez, I just felt like his body movement was fucking incredible.
Incredible. Did you watch Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje? I don't know if
I'm yeah. Fuck yeah, of course I did.
That was so good.
See what I mean? Like, okay, that dude is undefeated, right? He was until that fight, and they slugged it out, and like Eddie won, but he was barely conscious when he won.
Yeah.
Did you see what Conor did to him? Yeah. Conor, dude, I watched it this morning. Conor's first 40 seconds is it's spine chilling to see how he's just like He's like, I don't have anything for you at all. I'm not even on my toes yet. He throws a couple of stab kicks and stays like he stays in bored face and until he does like 25 seconds of bored face, stab. At like stab front kick at his stomach, like I don't care, and then he threw something and Cole's like, what the fuck? He fucking called that a fucking punch, cunt! And then he's still bored again, and then maybe after 40 seconds he did a little bit of a on his toes for a second, and then went back forth then a 1-2. But for 40 seconds, I don't even think he was the crowd. Hey, look at me, fucking you know, like he didn't care, and let alone pressure. Like he didn't.
I'm learning that strategy to get in your head for the fuck off. That's gonna be my style. Not even.
I know you gotta.
He won't even be erect for the first 2 hours.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna lull me to sleep with that one. I'll be like, oh, I got this. He can't even get it up.
Just dead staring with a limp dick.
That might work. No, you know what?
As you're fucking working up your hog, I'm just shrunken.
We gotta get in the pissing contest here, man. I got
lazily
my fuck team will blow the shit out of your fuck team. I mean,
who goes in our corner? Who goes in our corner for the fuck off?
Dr. Drew Pensky.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't. He shouldn't see that. That's not fair.
He's right.
Nobody does it. Anne H could see it. She could be the judge. She lives in my ass too much. She'll rig it. Jason won for sure. But yeah, I got some teamwork lately. I got my own little team, and we work together. We're very powerful.
You're strong, Jason.
I'm just saying.
I'm a little intimidated.
We want to fight. We want to go on a run. Who can do the battle rope? You know what I mean? I'm not going to take it up. I'm not going to take you up on that. But fuck off.
I may
Watch
have
yourself.
Some secret ayahuasca powers though, like maybe some fucking secret deep tantra stuff.
Like put ayahuasca in my drink so I forget about the fuck off and start crying and we're in the corner.
Yeah, that might be it.
That's coming soon. Not this year, but it's coming. I'm working on my wife doing it. We almost had it.
Yeah, I know.
But she was like, I don't know. And I'm like, I'll tell you right now, you're not coming to Peru to watch me do ayahuasca.
Once she's there, she would get comfortable, though, you know. So even if she wants to go with the permission to just watch and observe, like Whitney went one of the times when she wasn't feeling it and just kind of...
And you didn't do it?
She observed
the whole time?
No, she eventually did.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't do it one ceremony. I sat out one ceremony.
She wanted to kind of
because you watched and saw what happened.
No, I had done ayahuasca 7 times in 7 times in 9 days.
Oh.
Before that, and so I was just not ready to do ayahuasca again. So
okay.
The first one I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it tonight, and then I just slowly re-entered it.
So, but the very first time, was it here or in Peru when you did it?
Peru.
Okay. It's just a better idea, I sense.
There's better practitioners generally there. I mean, you're paying a house call to the medicine, right? And you have these unbroken lineages of just thousands of years of grandfather to grandson, passing on the knowledge, passing on the songs, passing on the the specifics of the brew. You know, some of the admixtures have like 50 different tree species and plants, and it's
shit.
It has its own special characteristic there, and it all blends in with the local environment, and the sounds are right, and the way the crickets are, and the bats are, and the little spooky things in the trees are. It just creates a whole different vibe, and it's pretty special. But, you know, it's not for everybody. Like, again, this isn't something that's like a Boy Scout merit badge that you should do. You wait till you're called for it, because it's psychic surgery.
I spent years mentally preparing for it, maybe not even preparing to do it, and then finally I had come to I was like, I'm mentally prepared to do it. I can do it, and I know that I can handle it. So I'm ready to go. And then for Katie to be like, I'm not ready yet, I completely understood where she was coming from, because I've talked to you for years about it, and I was like, I'm not ready. So if you're just, you know, and she's like, because I'm like, you've got dark shit, Katie. Like, that's why you and I are in love with each other, because we are fucked.
I know,
shit, but
we all fucked up.
I just knew it would help.
Yeah.
As somebody who suffers from anxiety and pressure, I see her do it. I'm like, and I see all these videos of all these people like change their lives. I'm like, I just know that we're not going to die, and we're going to come back either a little bit better or way better. It's just like the time and I'm like, I'll give you a year. So I know that if you listen to Aubrey a little bit, he tells you a light story, not one of the death ones. She'll go.
Yeah, like when you see the vision of the you know, girl coming from the stars with the gown made of diamonds, and she sings you a sweet lullaby like that. That can happen, or it can be just spiders and death and your worst fears. But you got to be ready for
or it's all of it in like a 6-hour period.
Well, that's what I expect. I expect 6 hours of spiders. As a matter of fact,
I had a spider on top of my head, which is a vision of it, because I have deathly afraid of spiders. It made me sit there, the spider on top of my head, for hours.
But what was the conclusion?
Yeah, you great with spiders?
I'm okay with spiders now.
Do you want to come on the show and I have a bunch of spiders in here?
Nope.
I knew it.
That's a hard no.
Yeah. No, I did. I really didn't like spiders when I was a kid, and then I moved into a house into San Diego, and a friend of mine, Sean Rogers, loved the guy. Puts dead spiders, fake spiders, crickets, feathers on the back of my neck. Just basically fucking pounded me like 7 times a day in front of everybody on video, or just like, hey, check it out, I was gonna freak out. Put fucking crickets in my pads, so when I pull my pads out, fucking dead spiders come out of my bag. And look at it! And they all go, oh, this fucking friend's scared of spiders. Until the end, where it was like, fuck you. I would fucking smoke a bong rip and they'd put a fucking spider on my shoulder and I'd be like, fuck you, Sean. I don't care. I hope it goes inside my mind. And it cured me. It was like, I could not take it anymore. I was like, I was like, you know what? Just let it go, let it go. What if they just all ran all over me on my face? Because that's what he really wants. So now I'm like, and then like after a week, they're like, man, he's not even fucking reacting to a real one. We put a real one on him. I was like, nah.
Yeah. I had a similar experience with rats.
Cured.
I was terrified, and then I lived next to an abandoned construction site in New York, and just on the way to and from the bar, on the way home, it was just rats just run over your feet, and you get drunk enough times, and that happens to you. It loses its power.
You know what's even doper though than having somebody else do that to you is you intentionally looking at all these things you're scared of and going, oh, I'm scared of that thing, but it's not actually dangerous. Like, fear is important if there's actual danger, but when there's not, like intentionally going towards that thing and saying, all right, I'm going to go towards that fear because that fear is bullshit and I'm stronger than that fear. I do not need to be subject to something outside of my control. So let's go fucking smash that thing. So,
yeah, never experienced that in my entire life. Not that kind of guy.
You've had fucking anacondas bite you on the head intentionally.
Yes, but that was for listeners. I thought that if I did that, everybody would listen to the Jason Ellis show. And now look at us. We're huge. And that I think that was one of the turning points there, because I remember Donald Schultz came in, he put the little snake on the desk, and I did this, Aubrey. Different studio, but I did this. I said, get it out! Get it out! I seriously did that, didn't I? Were you here?
I do not think I was there for
that. Oh, it's one of those fucking, the pillowcase, and it comes out of the pillowcase, and he's just trying to bite me, and he's like, yeah, look at it. And then that night, I called him, and I was like, because everybody on social media said, you're such a pussy, and I called him, I was like, get the anaconda, like, get me the scariest snake in the world and get it to bite me. He's like, seriously? I'm like, yes. Like, not a poisonous one. I don't want to have some trippy, but like just a big snake. Yeah. And he's like, I got it. An 8-foot anaconda.
That's it, man. You got to conquer. It's the same shit you did in skateboarding, man. You're fucking holding onto a back of a motorcycle with a skateboard. You told me that story.
Bad idea.
That one actually has a lot of danger in it. But the idea, like for me, the classic example I use, I really fucking hate crickets. Crickets are not dangerous.
Makes no sense.
Zero danger.
Yeah,
cockroaches too.
Would you eat them?
I mean, I don't know if that's sanitary. But either
you can
way,
eat crickets.
I eat crickets in Tulum.
Me too.
Oh yeah, the ones that are cooked. Yeah, those are fine. But anyways,
he doesn't
like,
there's
a spot right down La Cienega. You can go right after the show.
I don't even like to eat those cricket bars that are delicious, that taste like chocolate, those exo bars. I don't even like those. But anyways, point being, if there's a cockroach in the house, like, okay, here's the options. You can smash it and clean it up or whatever. You could get something and trap it. But I feel like they're not fucking dangerous. Just use your hand, again, just like turning that shower nozzle. Like, use your hand, grab the cockroach. Yes, you're gonna feel the little hands scratching and trying squeezing out of that little area between your thumb, but you're gonna hold it gently and not freak out, and you're gonna let it outside. And when you do that shit, you feel like goddamn Batman.
No,
and you feel like you've mastered that.
I mean, I wouldn't say mastered it, but at any given point, I could do that. Like,
so
I just
if you were to put one in the shower every morning before you had to do
the
cold water?
He's done it before.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So he would have to grab the cockroach and then I would have to do the cold shower?
If you're going to have to do the cold shower, he would have to do the cockroach.
Deal.
I'm not mad at this.
Could you put a cockroach in your hand and then when he switches the cold water to cold, you just fucking put that in his mouth? Yeah. Put it on his chest?
I'm in.
No, you're not. I want video of him being so relaxed about the cockroach.
Well,
on his
look,
chest.
sometimes I'm like a little schoolgirl, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then as soon as it starts his little spindly legs in my hand, I like drop it, and sometimes I can get myself in the right state of mind, like one of those coal walking motherfuckers from a Tony Robbins fucking extravaganza, where I just get myself in the right state.
And you'll
I
hold the
just
cockroach with your
calmly
bare
pick it
hand.
up with my bare hand, and I feel it squirming around, and I
Fucking
say,
animal over
it's
here.
okay, buddy. And I let it out.
It's gotta be weird, right? Hanging out with this guy and then going to Europe and hanging out with all these glory pussies when fucking Madman Aubrey Marcus over here just grabbing cockroaches at will. Just put it outside. I'm a god. Who's next? Who else wants to be put outside? Fucking champion.
Line up.
Right? Read Aubrey's book and grab cockroaches. No, he does way more stuff than that. I love the morning thing. I can already tell that it works.
And take naps. Another great thing. Like,
Yeah.
everybody thinking they need
Get less jobs,
8 hours
too.
of sleep. You don't need 8 hours of sleep at night. You need 30 to 35 sleep cycles a week. A nap outperforms coffee, and it outperforms more overnight sleep. So anybody who's not sleeping, this book has a great strategy for helping you reframe this whole idea of sleep. Because naps are actually probably the best fucking thing you can do for yourself. And you don't even need to go completely out. Like 30 minutes, really rest, relax. It'll outperform coffee and more overnight sleep. Just every different type and part of the day you can think about. Like, we talk about it. We got some strategies you might not be aware of.
So, because that's the important part to me. Whenever I used to take naps, that I can't sleep for fucking 30 minutes. It's impossible. I could when my kids were real young, but that's because I was exhausted. I could sleep standing up. But since I got older, I'm like, a 20-minute nap ain't going to happen. But 20 minutes of, like, fully clearing my head, I can do that.
Yeah,
it's almost sleep. And you're saying that counts just as
Nick
much.
Littlehale wrote this book called Sleep, and he worked with, like, Manchester United, some of the top performers in the world. He calls it a CRP, controlled recovery period. And he counts that as 1 point towards your 30 to 35 sleep cycles a week goal. A sleep cycle is about 90 minutes, so 6 hours of sleep would be 4 points. Multiplied by 7 days out of the week, that's 28. You add in a couple naps, 30-minute controlled recovery periods, you're right there in the adequate amount of sleep. So there's so many different ways you can look at all of these different things that you think are super hard. Like, no fucking way can I sleep 8 hours uninterrupted, but I sure as shit can sleep 6 and take a 30-minute, controlled recovery period at some point. And so little stuff like that, it just, adds up, changes your life.
Yeah, I might do that. My chick is on steroids right now because of some migraine thing. And now that she's on the steroids, she doesn't sleep that well. So I might tell her to do that because she's like, I've got 4 hours sleep last night. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't know it. Steroids, freaking me out. She's got some crazy stuff in her head. Some sort of allergy thing and some sort of pocket in her head. They got cameras up in her brain.
Ugh.
Yeah, she got serious, like, uncalled for allergies. But she's super hot, so it makes up for it.
She's awesome. She's awesome. We all gotta hang again soon.
Yeah, she's into that.
Your book is out on April 17th. People can pre-order now. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, pretty much wherever people get books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, everybody that I know, Ellis fam, you always hit me up saying, I help you out and stuff. Well, anything that I've helped you out with, how to make your body work better and be happier, I just ripped it off Aubrey. So he's got a book with all that in there, and you can order it now. So
Yeah,
I would
we
do
got
it.
like 300 clinical academic references. Everything's got all the research backed, but I don't use the research. I just talk about how it feels, talk about whether it's good. Because a lot of the research will lead you down some weird rabbit holes. Tell you to take 2 tablespoons of baking soda, then you shit your pants every day. That stuff doesn't work. That stuff's not in the book. This stuff is real.
It's a good thing that wasn't in there. I was about to shit my pants.
So I'll skip the unabridged version.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What's your podcast called?
Aubrey Marcus Podcast.
I like that.
Yeah.
You got like better editors than I do. you put yourself together a nice podcast there. I like it.
Thanks, brother. And everybody can, if you want to check little bits of it, at Aubrey Marcus on Instagram. I post some of the highlights from the podcast. Because I know not everybody has all the time, but we got some cool ideas on there for sure.
All right, it's always good to see you, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm proud of your book. It's a good book. I think it will help people.
Thank you, brother.
And of course, Whitney. Yeah,
Love you.
Yeah, we're having sex again right
We're
now.
having sex right now.
We'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So glad Lori has a fight on Saturday.
Where?
Here. Well, in Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can get you tickets. You want to go? You guys
You want to go?
Yeah, my kids aren't with me, so yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
One of my guys at Saxon's fights for Glory.
Who?
I forgot his name. God damn it. There's so many fucking assholes there. I haven't trained for the longest time.
I haven't either until
Like-
this morning. I'm dying.
I got a prostate infection
Oh.
after getting staph. And he thought it was like it's from stress or whatever, so I took antibiotics for like 3 weeks. And then finally, off all that, it took forever to even go in the backyard and like I hit pads with Eddie and I'd be like, "What's the fucking out, dude?" He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "I'd rather just go inside." And then like maybe last week, hit the bag for 20 minutes and I was like, "Huh, hey." I was like, "Eddie, we gotta come over," and it started raining. But I finally like feel like that bit is gone. That shit fucking ruined me, man. Like even sleep just made me like tired. Didn't feel like I couldn't like eat right.
The infection and then the antibiotics going on, your probiotics. And
Right.
it's like this cascade.
Right. So now it's just been like the mission to get back to go to Saxon's, not to fight, just go to Saxon's.
Fucking sweat.
I just want to hang out with my friends. I see them on there every day, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys, I want to go. That's cool. Well, that's cool. Come over. Hi, guys." They're like,
Hang out
"What's
with
your
me."
deal, dude?" I'm like, "I'm old. I'm fucking dying." That's weird. That's what I feel. We take a photo?
Yeah, Jenny should be coming right now.
Why didn't all my shit check the printer again. How long?
You got time.
5.5 minutes.
Well, we only have the best equipment here, Will, so it must be you.
Space age technology. At your service.
Hey, righto. Okay, yeah. My name's Morrissey. You want to shove it in me dick hole, eh? Right, right. Okay.
Let me know if you want to eat crickets.
Hey, get a new podcast today.
favorite donut?
Lemony.
Shit, right?
They were weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had a good one. It had cereal on top of it.
I think I just wasn't expecting lemon.
Where are they
I
from?
think I'm exactly with you. I was like, what the fuck am I? Fruit
I mean, it's a better surprise than when I was in Japan and I bought what I thought was a jelly donut, took a big bite out of it, and it was a curry donut.
I thought you were going to say fish donut.
That might have been better.
Yeah, those are those curry pond things.
Oh, fucking disgusting. It's like a diarrhea bomb.
I like Japanese curry. It's not when you're in the mood for a donut.
Yeah. I mean, I like curry. I just...
Yeah.
I wasn't really for a curry donut.
Yeah, I know exactly what you got.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna poop on your head. Damn dolphin. Never see him coming.
That's right. They're like the snakes of the sea. They called that.
Damn it, Ellis. We want to see Whitney. Ah, fuck. Sorry, guys. I didn't see that. I only got one camera today. Fucking website is a piece of shit right now.
What's up with that?
I have no idea. Just yesterday was an update, so it didn't work, and now today only one camera works. And if there's no one here, that's it. Whatever. We have 36 people watching, and Joe Rogan has 20,000 people watching.
Yeah. Sometimes I think about, like, somebody that, like, however many followers I have on whatever, if they lost that many, they wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
You want to feel insignificant? Like, they literally would not notice if that number went away.
Yeah. Yeah, like Ken Block.
Yep.
He wouldn't notice if all my followers that I have that he lost. There's no... Okay, fucking...
In Brisbane.
Brisbane?
It's pronounced Brisbane.
Bane.
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Brisbane. Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yep. What about it?
In Brisbane,
Hmm.
an elderly man was looking for his slipper.
Oh, mate, I lost me slipper.
Right.
Anyone know where me slipper is? He's gold.
He always puts it under his bed.
Anyone know where me fucking slipper is, cunt?
Did a possum get it?
No, nobody
No,
says that in
no.
the outback.
Okay.
No. Possums don't take
Well,
slippers.
he finally found a carpet snake. that
You're not
had
me slipper!
eaten his slipper.
Son of a bitch! This little fucking creature ate me slipper!
He said he found the snake and a suspicious shoe-sized bulge in the snake's body. So, yeah, it
Cut the fucking cunt out, didn't I?
ingested his slipper. They actually did surgery
Did he
on the snake.
Oh, wow. Wait, to get the slipper?
Yeah.
To save the snake
Not
or to get the slipper
snake,
back?
Not to get the slipper
Okay.
so much, because here's the slipper after it came out of the snake.
And...
It's been kind of slimily digested.
Man, I super want to have that
This is
slipper.
the X-ray of the... It looks like a fake X-ray, but it's an X-ray of a slipper in a
Man,
snake.
that's a sad snake, because he was hungry as fuck. You know?
Apparently, you couldn't
Yeah.
regurgitate it or whatever they do.
It is interesting how we can, when you take a human interest in a particular critter, people will go to all sorts of lengths when they are indifferent on a daily, even hourly basis to all sorts of critters. Like, for example, I had that experience that there was a little lizard came in the house. I could see he wasn't getting around very
Right.
well. So we went to a lot of efforts to go outside and try to find bugs for him to eat and stuff. Now, it would not have been an unusual occurrence if we had gone to a restaurant that night and if I had ordered calamari and if we had left a third of the calamari uneaten and allowed those animals to die completely in vain. Because we never met those ones.
True. That is true.
It's a cutthroat world.
Also, you know, if you see a roach in your house, you're probably not going to like.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, and the chips are always stacked against the burnt steak.
I call Aubrey because he loves picking them up.
Right. No, but you probably wouldn't go, here's a little crumb for you, Roachy.
Right.
Most likely. Another animal news, a man is suing the Magic Kingdom.
I'm not familiar with the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, it's magical. You must.
Hmm.
The guy said he was bitten by a rat at the theme park.
That's Mickey Mouse, and he does whatever
No.
he damn well pleases.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a little offensive to
No.
call him that.
No, this is an actual rat. And he is looking for monetary damages to the tune of over $15,000.
For the rat that bit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he could get rat AIDS.
That seems like a very low number to me.
Oh, really?
What? Yeah.
Ricky Rat's rich.
Yeah, it's Walt Disney World.
Yeah, but it's a rat that bit you. You got to be rational. You can't say
Pain, suffering.
yeah, pain, suffering of a rat that bit you. 15 grand.
How much price? Like, think about it. If I was just
I
going
like
to
that
pay-
guy.
Yeah. What about if we take? I believe you would do it for less. I know I would.
Take a rat.
Yeah, I'll take 5 grand for a rat
To
bite.
get bite by a would you make that deal?
Right now?
Rat bite. Well,
Fuck yeah.
Hey, look, I mean,
Fuck, can he buy me
Whoa, whoa,
5
whoa.
grand a pop? I'll fucking be in here for hours.
is this a pet rat or is this a
Give a
possibly
fuck.
diseased rat?
I would go into a vat of
You do not
rats.
want to be a vat.
I would rather be in a vat of rats.
If Rat Vat is not a Hate Bean song, then I have completely lost my sense of everything.
You
I would
yes,
rather be
a
a
rat vat.
No.
Wait, rat vat.
Rat Vat.
Wait, rat vat. Fuck, rat vat.
So, some people think they are wolves and they travel in packs. Ah-ha! That ain't me. No siree.
Nope.
I'd rather be in a rat vat. Ow! Rat vat!
Yeah!
Take it, CC.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, rat vat, man. That was a good song.
Hey, I heard something really interesting yesterday. Cause like, can we all agree that when you go to a rock concert, 9 times out of 10, the extended guitar solo, drum solo is pretty boring?
Yeah, 9 out of 10 times. Yeah.
That is, there are exceptions, and
Yes.
it wouldn't be a Rush show without Neil doing his thing. But so the reason why that happens, there's a very specific reason why that happened. I just saw it on Twitter. A rock journalist retweeted this thing. What used to happen was they'd have these package tours, like the one that Richie Valens and the Big Bopper died on, right? And guys would go out and do a half hour, and all of a sudden it flipped to bands headlining by themselves. You had a bunch of bands like Cream and shit that last year were doing 30-minute sets that now are expected to do an hour and 45, 2 hours, and they just didn't have the materials. So they go, oh fuck, I could probably slam on some toms for 10 minutes. Slow hand, you do some shit, and then just like that, it became tradition. It wasn't a rock concert if a guy didn't do that, even though nobody ever actually liked it.
I just assumed, hey, these guys have been basically exercising for an hour. It would be good if they could have a break, and then maybe after the drummer's done, there'll be a bass solo or something.
I love that when Def Leppard did the Hysteria tour, there was a huge space underneath the stage, and they would have groupies in it, and literally as they took their turns, like every single other guy in the band was getting a mid-show blowjob.
Might as well. You're a rock star. That's what rock stars do.
Oh, well.
Anyway, in other news, there's something coming back we used to use a long time ago.
Prostitutes.
They've always been around.
Leeches.
No. Although this is something we started doing around 1852.
Slavery?
No.
Educating children?
No. Using, and for everyday purposes, blimps.
Oh.
Yeah. You're not excited about blimps?
Not really. I mean, the Goodyear blimp never left.
No, I know, but that's just for
what? Now there's going to be another blimp
purposes. No,
well, what are these blimps going to do?
These are giant blimps. Lockheed Martin is competing against a bunch of other companies, some smaller companies, in an attempt to create blimps that will lift like 60 tons.
For what?
For industrial purposes, like lumber, for example.
What about the homeless?
Out of the forest, putting them on the blimp.
Hey, 60 tons worth of homeless.
I don't know if that's a good
What about
answer.
60 tons worth of that plastic stuff in the ocean?
Possibly.
Get the blimps out there to get it.
They need a blimp that doesn't have any mooring pylons and can carry up to 60 tons. And so for the lumber industry, that would be a great thing. Also, oil, petrol, all the...
Wait, a blimp carrying oil?
Yeah.
Man, that's a Led Zeppelin cover.
And a giant...
When that one fucking goes up, right? Fucking Led Zeppelin is back,
Are you
baby.
thinking about Hindenburg?
I'm thinking about, you thought oil spills were bad when they happened in the ocean.
Yeah, what about in the sky with a fucking tank of gas hovering above it?
What about over New Haven, Connecticut?
Yeah.
No, that's the thing is that, 60 tons...
Raining fire is metal.
They're also, going to carry giant parts of machines and all that kind of stuff. 60 tons hovering above your head is...
I don't like it.
I don't like that either.
It's windy sometimes. What happens?
It is.
I don't want to get hit by 60 tons of stuff.
Well,
Doesn't it like dramatically increase weight when it falls from the sky too?
Well, assuming that the blimp
if a single
fails.
dime can kill me,
Right.
do 60 tons of
Right.
raw of sweet crude.
Which is weird.
It's gonna fuck you up, right?
You do know that the Empire State Building was where they would hook up, like it was built, the top of it was built so that blimps could come dock there and like passengers could get off and like fly from Midtown to somewhere else.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, there's pictures of it.
It turned out to be not a good idea. That's why I stopped doing
I
it.
could have told you that.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a giant balloon in the sky, and then we're gonna dock it next to with the world's largest needle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Let's go back to the drawing board, fellas.
I think also after the...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Do you want to walk onto something that high up in the air? A balloon?
Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no. That makes no sense. The
Right.
wind kills
The
everybody.
wind is really the major problem, but also the Hindenburg, made people kind of reluctant to get on a dirigible, a balloon.
A zeppelin, if you will.
Yeah, I mean there are different. I don't know what they are, but they are.
They don't like calling them that anymore, do they?
Well, there's different categories of what a rigid versus a limp air vehicles, and that's how it got its name. Was I think it was the British Air Force or something had the A limp vehicle, and that wasn't working out, and they moved to the B limp vehicle, and it's a limp airbag is what they called it. And that's
No
basically
shit.
that isn't. It's not something you want to get into, a limp airbag. I don't think. Anyway, in other news,
I've been in a couple of limp airbags. Cost me.
great news about that Chinese space station that's gonna come crashing down around Easter weekend.
It's gonna miss America and land on Canada.
No, it's not.
It's gonna miss Canada and land on France.
In the greatest irony in history of the world, it will crash into Dave Matthews.
No.
Oh man, full circle.
No. Yeah, sure. There's a tiny chance it's a threat to human life. But,
Man, if it hit Dave Matthews,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man, but I don't think you could give me any bad news on the planet. Trump fucking blah blah blah, killed the gays. Like, I'm sorry, man, but Dave Matthews fucking satellite hit Dave Matthews and killed him instantly.
You would listen to that song?
Oh my god,
perhaps.
yeah, satellite and then crash into it. Just
Yeah.
over and
Yeah.
over.
Well, the good news about the thing crashing.
Can you not talk for a second? I'm just trying to pretend that I live in a world where a satellite landed on that fuckhead and killed him. I'm like, man, that was a cool day. Driving home knowing that dude's dead.
That's
Satellite
horrible.
hit him.
That guy's a nice guy.
I don't give a fuck.
It was like if an Adam Sandler character fronted a jam band.
Turn that.
See what I mean? Satellite, come for him. Cause fuck you, dude.
Satellite. Why are we
Man.
playing Dave Matthews?
I mean, the black sax guy already died, so there's nobody to feel sorry for anymore. If the satellite hits that band, we're fucking better off.
Should I think
Stop, dude! God! Come for me, satellite!
Anyway, so it is going to pass over the areas of Des Moines, Detroit, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Salt Lake City.
Anybody bad live there?
Nope. All
No.
good people. And the good news is there's going to be a giant fireball.
That's why they call Detroit the criminal-free city.
Okay, good.
Fireball!
There's gonna be a fireball.
Yeah, that would be cool to see, right?
Is it gonna still hit Dave Matthews?
If you
Because a
want-
fireball that hits Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Now I might retire.
Is Jerry Lee
No,
Lewis
that's
dead?
not going to happen. Great balls of fire. No.
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 Did he die? Did he die? Is he dead?
Can we dig him
Yeah.
up?
Can we shoot his Can we shoot his casket at the meteor?
No.
Because that
But wouldn't that be awesome to see? If it
we get
happened
Alanis
at night-
Morissette to sing. Isn't it ironic
No.
while we shoot the casket? Okay, sorry.
No. I think that would be cool to see a crashing space station. I mean, I saw it in that movie Life, but, you know, a different one.
I'll watch that.
That was alright.
What's life?
Oh, it's, I don't know, it's Jake Gyllenhaal and the Deadpool guy.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that one.
And some
That sounded
lady.
sarcastic. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Anyway, rich people will soon be able to buy one of the coolest things ever.
Blowjobs.
A soul?
Nope.
Not interested in it.
It's something that
Just
comes
wait
out
a
of
It's overrated.
It's something that comes out of space technology and all the research that's going on in that area right now.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Really good absorbent shoes. Shock absorbent shoes.
Sea monkeys.
No.
Fart proof pants.
No.
So when you fart, you can't smell it no matter what.
They might be able to buy that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Space
talking
helmets?
about,
Asbestos?
No.
Asbestos.
I'm talking
Great
about...
news, guys.
You got asbestos.
We got asbestos. Plenty of it.
Isn't it flame retardant? Maybe it's super flammable.
Anyway, so you will be able to buy a meteor shower on demand.
Wait, I can request a meteor shower
Yes.
to land on me?
No, overhead.
To land on Dave Matthews?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're talking. How much is it to get a meteor shower to hit Dave Matthews and kill him?
Well, look, here's the deal. They got this
Fiery.
satellite that's 220 miles up there, and it'll kick out like 15 to 20 of these metal pellets
Yeah?
that will hit the atmosphere over the city of the person who buys the meteor shower.
None of us will get hit with any shrapnel for sure, guaranteed.
No, it'll all burn up. And depending on the kinds of metals, like fireworks, depending on the kind of metals and stuff in it, I guess is what causes the different colors.
So
Yeah?
it's space fireworks.
How much does it cost for space fireworks? Because I'm
Well,
pretty rich.
These guys would not mention an actual cost. They're called Astro Live Experiences. And they first developed this for like one of the Olympic ceremonies, and they will do this in 2019 over Hiroshima. But
Haven't those people suffered enough?
Right? Like, hey, we're going to bum you again. Psych, it's just fireworks.
They say that Tokyo displays cost $40,000 per firework, and
Yeah.
that New York spends over $6 million on their 4th of July thing,
And
they'll
this
come
shit-
in way under that.
Way under 6 million, you're saying?
Yeah, but it's only going to last a few seconds.
Right, and that's really the story of my life.
Unless you buy a whole bunch of them, in which case it'll cost exactly the same as other things that
Yeah.
you just mentioned. Can we get a Dio hologram up there at the same time?
That would be amazing. Oh my god.
Because I'll propose to my wife again.
Yeah. And what if it's a cloudy day? I mean, you just we did it. And you have to
At
know where
nighttime,
it's
you'd still
going.
see it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe a little light in the sky.
A rainbow in the dark.
We talked the other day about going to the beach.
That was good. I like that one. I almost left and just played that song in my head for the rest of the day.
We talked about the beach the other day and the ions in the air.
Yeah, no, there's ions everywhere. Watch out, guys.
It's Will's favorite part.
It's one of my favorite parts. So, you guys looked at me so crazy that I thought...
I was looking at you crazy. I was looking at my own mustache. It's super visible these days.
Well, I'm making sure I'm right about this. And I am. Negative ions are odorless, tasteless, invisible molecules. But I found more interesting information about them. Mountains, waterfalls, beaches, that's where they're most likely produced naturally, and they enter your bloodstream, and they cause biochemical reactions in you. And it can help with depression and stress, and it boosts energy. And I've got a machine I'll sell you that will make these things for you. No,
where do I get it?
But no, you can buy them. You can buy a machine that will do this. Because basically all you're doing is electrifying the air. Moving water, wind, I think sunlight and radiation are the things that will basically cause you to have those negative ions.
I hate negative ions, man.
And air conditioners were
trying to be positive here. Well,
air conditioners destroy them. So if you're in an office building, you can have like zip going on, but you get in the shower in the morning. There's another place you have a few of them, but like the beach where there's all that churning water, that's making all those ions.
So get to the beach for some ions, you say?
Yeah. Go get some ions for yourself.
Okay.
This happened, I think, last week, and I just didn't have time to do the story, and I don't know if anything's changed about it, but I saw a video online of this Texas TV station, and this woman was doing a newscast reporting about, some sort of industrial thing in Corpus Christi, and then all of a sudden you hear this guy go, "Fuck it, lick it, smell it."
That's that game, right?
Is that like the fucker and the pussy gang?
It is one of their reporters, and they were at the time investigating how that audio got on the air.
Yeah. And how did it get on there?
I don't know.
They won't tell you.
they haven't told me.
Did somebody maybe ask somebody else to fuck it, lick it, and smell it?
They admitted that it was a station reporter's voice.
Yeah.
How would that happen?
If somebody audio bombed somebody else's report, or if somebody hated the reporter and recorded his voice and then inserted it onto somebody else's broadcast.
Could it be that game, lick it, pull it, bob it, slap it or whatever, and people just misheard him?
Nope.
Okay. Just trying to help, man.
Would you like to hear the audio?
Yes.
All right. Hope they didn't blip them out.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Wow, for that, because that just sounds like it was in a porn. Now knowing that you're saying that there's somebody that works there that said that, holy creep off. Because there's no scenario where you ain't creepy for saying that, and you were whispering it too.
Yeah,
You're creepy.
And it just had that creepy element to it.
And that Maria...
Smell it. I'm like, what? Smell it.
Yeah, the Maria Shriver-looking newscaster lady, I always give people credit for that, because most of the time you're just, you're on autopilot, you're reading, it's no big deal. But she did not miss a millibeat.
No, I know.
Going, oh, well, we apologize for that. Anyway, in lighter news, a puppy had a kitten.
No. No. Look, I really do appreciate it when people react in really responsible ways when something totally surprising like that happens.
That's shocking what just happened.
Yeah, no doubt. And that kind of leads me to this story. A guy who may or may not be YouTube famous, I don't know, but he's a self-proclaimed online prankster. He was targeting In-N-Out burger stores. He would, put on this suit and go in there and go behind the counter and say, oh, and he had a little name tag and all. He's like, oh, I'm the new CEO of the company, and I'm here a surprise inspection, or I'm just stopping by, or whatever. And he did this twice. He did it once at the Burbank location, and I think at the Hollywood location. And both times, this idiot tried to pull some funny prank. Everybody acted super appropriate. The manager said, I'm going to have to ask you to step from behind the counter.
Yeah.
And then they called the police.
Yeah.
And now the company is acting in a really cool way, which is, to me, in my opinion, they filed a lawsuit against them for $25,000, and they're filing for a restraining order against them.
Are you against that?
No, I love that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to go into people's...
And be a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
In-N-Out has far and away the most responsible employees. I'm not surprised that they knew what to do.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, any other company would have just caved under the pressure. You know? They don't care. I mean, I think like a McDonald's or something, if a guy walked in there and said that, oh, okay, you know, I don't know, I'm guessing. But the company wouldn't have, like, filed a restraining order and all that kind of stuff. It'd probably be bad for business. I'm glad they're doing it. Yeah,
Get him, Will!
They said...
It takes a really long time to get a burger at a place called In-N-Out.
They, that's very good. The statement they put out said, they have attempted to humiliate, offend, or otherwise make our customers or associates uncomfortable. We'll continue to take action in the future to protect our customers. And I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go have a hamburger.
I'm not going to get that far, but yeah, I support
the secret menu.
What?
There is a few fucking dish.
I'll have a double Frankenstein style.
Yeah,
Cat was trapped
Von
on
D?
a power pole.
I was hoping we're going to have Kat Von D news.
No. This
She's
is
juicy.
This is really a...
I'd like to have anal with her.
The cat?
No! Man, you
Von
are
D?
fucked up. Yeah, Von D. God
What?
damn,
What is
man.
that for? I think she's
Animal
beautiful.
sex? I'm not into animal sex, you
Animal
freak.
style.
No, Kat Von D in a nice way, too. Not like butt rape, like friendly. God, fuck. No, I've changed my mind. I want to fuck a cat.
I'm into animal sex with Kat Von D.
What do you, no, I'm talking about a cat.
You started it.
That was on a pole.
Right, yeah. I want Kat to be on my pole.
This happened in Phoenix.
She'd be a good candidate for my fuck off against
This
Aubrey
cat was
Marcus.
stuck on top of this pole, and so I don't know who made the decision.
Fire him and shot him.
But the local TV station started live streaming the cat on top of a pole,
Oh man, that is hot news.
which of course caused a whole bunch of people
That's
to
better than a car chase.
call 911.
What, to get the help the cat?
Hey, you gotta help that cat. He's on a pole.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of calls, which almost shut down their 911 system.
Yeah. That day, this is exactly the same point that I made about animals earlier. How many cats were euthanized in that city that day?
Right.
Hundreds?
No,
Thousands?
I know. And
Yeah.
my point is, if you aim that same camera at a homeless person, nobody calls, nobody cares, nobody comments, or maybe they comment, "Good job."
Homeless guy on a pole gets some hits.
No, not on a pole. Yeah, it does. No. Anyway, you know, they got the...
They got the cat off there?
Yeah, the cat is off the pole!
Oh man, if only I could get off it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other animal news. You guys talked about... How did you guys start talking about whales plopping themselves on the beach?
Marijuana.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. No, because
There's
Sally...
an ad or something?
Yeah, no, yeah, whales are aliens, and soon when we get over aliens being with us, they'll show their true colors and fly above us.
The story I saw online was in Argentina, where 49 dolphins washed up on shore.
Yeah.
And even though, and this is another case where somebody was like prepared and acted accordingly. They've never had any whales or dolphins wash up on their shore there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time this had ever happened. They still managed, because they had prepared for this, they managed to get 12 of them back in the water alive.
They didn't come back, they left.
To feed them to the whales, I guess. They think that they came up on shore because some whales were out there, and they were trying to get away from them.
Oh.
So I don't know if they did them any good. Maybe the dolphin was like, I'd rather just die on the beach and get eaten by
Can't a dolphin beat a whale? Like, can't you just get away from a whale, or is it just like, is a whale
It's
just
not
like...
killer whales. They would
is
flip
that
up
who-
in the air and...
Yeah, but they can't catch you. Dolphins are faster. They got better turns. Or is or are killer whales like, are they like, oh fuck, it's the killer whale team, when you know they know, dolphins know that when killer whales are around, they get caught in the trap.
I'm getting out of here, man.
Because dolphins can beat sharks.
It says the killer whales can reach speeds up to 6. So was it about 30 miles an hour?
Yeah, dolphins are bucking harder than that, aren't they?
37.
Yeah, okay, so it's fucking neck and neck.
It is the killer whale, and it is the short-beak common dolphin, so there you go.
Because when you see at SeaWorld before, the killer whales can get mega air, so that means they're cranking underwater to get up there.
Yeah.
Dolphins get pretty high too, but those fuckers crank. Wait, seals click a 34? 11 mile an hour. Yeah, fucking 11 mile an hour. That's for douches. What's this penguin doing? 7 mile an hour. Fuck off.
Swordfish get 50 miles an hour.
Great white sharks cranking 10 mile an hour. You get hit at 10 mile an hour by a 3-ton teeth machine. That'll fuck you up. What's this Mako? Yeah, that's the one. 20. Wait, no. Yeah, Mako, because you see, I seen video of Mako come up and bite bait on the camera. And I'm like, that's 20 mile an hour underwater is sick shit. Which means 35 is insane. Because that's the other thing. I've seen Makos in the water, and then one time I saw white tips from above, and I saw a white tip go hard in the water, and I'm like, how the fuck? It doesn't even look like it's wiggling, and it's going so fast.
Swordfish, 60 miles an hour? That's going to hurt.
That's incredible. And my only problem with that is hey, humans, why haven't you got a fucking fish boat that makes me do 60 mile an hour? Because that's my sport, you know. Because then you can just, if you have a boat that can do 60 mile an hour underwater, and you can do the biggest fucking somersaults ever out of the water in the beach, I mean, you can get fucking really hurt, and now you've got yourself a new sport. And as you all know, old people, with age comes the cage. And you got a roll cage dolphin speedboat. Woo, baby. Freedom.
They're working on legislation in New York City. If it passes, it would make it illegal for employees to access work-related emails outside of regular work hours. It's like the law they passed in France, the disconnect law, the right to disconnect.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't deal with it much, and you know, there's some blue-collar jobs that don't deal with it much. I think it's more of a office-y kind of thing. But I mean, you can expect emails at all hours, and you're expected to answer those emails.
Yeah, but you're not expected to answer it in 15 minutes, right?
You're expected. Look, if your boss emails you at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, you should answer them. Yeah,
but if you're asleep, then
there's an expectation that you're going to answer them.
Wow.
Opponents to the law say that it's flawed because there's no exemptions for police or medical people. But how many times have you ever had to email a cop for help?
Well, if you're a police chief, probably pretty often.
Yeah.
With emergency business.
Yeah, Stapler gets emails all the time. Very emergent.
You're saying that you get emails from your boss
in
the middle of the night. Well, I'm sure cops at some level get emails from their cop boss in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but that's a different part of their job. It's not the emergency part of their job.
Yeah, you email me in the middle of the night, I ain't responding.
Look, you can make this illegal all you want unless there's a cultural change. So what? So you're not required to answer the email, but I can't stop you from answering it if I send it to you, and I can email you at any time. That was the original point. So the guys who answer the emails are the ones who are going to get promotions, and ladies, and we're right back to where we started.
Yeah, except the way this is worded, and you just answered the question for me. I was wondering why it was worded this way. It says if it passes, would make it illegal for employees to access work-related email outside the regular work hours. So that makes it where you're, making them break the law if you expect them to answer an email.
Oh, I see. So now it's a crime that I'm not lazy?
Yeah. One of my favorite types of books is, stuff going on inside the White House.
Mine is pitches.
No. Well, yeah, Pokey Little Puppy?
I like the dirty ones.
Wow.
I like dirty picture books too, Michael.
Dirty books.
Yeah. I like it when you open it and the pussy comes out of the book.
Oh, pop-up.
Yeah. porn
I
pop
don't
up.
like it when the pages are stuck together.
Oh,
I
no,
know
no,
somebody else saw it before me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Get a little class.
I like the ones about like what's going on inside the government, like inside the White House.
Me too.
All that kind of stuff. And this book is coming from one of the very few politicians I actually like, and that's John McCain. This book is going to cover his run against Obama and the 2008 election, his time in the Senate when the Democrats were in charge, and his experiences during the 2016 election and what's happened in Washington since that election.
Yes.
He's
a hard bastard.
He's been undergoing treatment for brain cancer since last summer.
Tough as they make him.
He really is. I like that guy, man. I think
Me too.
I think he made one giant mistake in his
Yeah,
career.
that dumb biatch ruined your life.
Other than that, I think he's pretty awesome. I think he's one of the few that I really respect.
Yeah.
Anyway, that book will be out on May 22nd if you're interested in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I will never believe that war hero comment from Trump didn't submarine him for good. That is just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
What happened? What?
He's not a war hero. I like people that don't get captured. McCain's not a war hero. I like people who don't get captured.
Oh.
Yeah.
How that alone doesn't... I mean, fucking Dan Quayle was submarined for life because he thought there was an E on the end of potato.
Yeah.
That is just fucking... And that's why people go, oh, Trump, Stormy Daniels. I don't care about Stormy Daniels because there's so much worse shit on the record. So much worse shit on the record. That is unforgivable.
I agree.
Well, what
Man,
election
Patriots
was that?
support him.
It makes
Oh,
no
no, it's just like the John Kerry thing, too. I mean, he had a Purple Heart, and people started wearing Purple Heart Band-Aids. Like, oh, you have a Purple Heart. It's not real Purple Heart. I can't believe anybody who is a patriot would disrespect people who have served in the military and given so much for the country.
Especially when they themselves went out of their way to not serve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to
I
keep
don't
your
care.
mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't care what politics you like or what you think or whatever else. Fuck you if you're going to talk shit on people that have gone through such horrible things in service of their country.
For you. Yeah, for you.
Yeah. Yes.
Well said, fellas.
Anyway, just to make sure nobody ever gets the truth about anything, I read a news story this morning about an organization that's made up of people who represent one side of the things, one party, and they are creating a fact check for fact checks.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically, let's say George Washington is a Federalist and John Hancock is an anti-Federalist, and John Hancock's like, oh, George Washington, he didn't really chop down that cherry tree, and George Washington's like, yeah, I did. Then the fact checker would say, well, actually, George Washington did chop down the cherry tree.
Yeah.
Now these fact checker people are going to say, well, actually, he didn't, or what? It's
Well, that doesn't help me, Will, because
I
you
know.
said that he did do it, and now you're saying that he didn't do it.
and then
I've heard-
So now I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of different
Yeah.
contrasting opinions.
You're
here.
saying fact check is lying?
I can no longer pay attention to any of this. I'm just checking out of this dialogue. With that, they win.
Yeah, exactly. Once they make it so difficult for you to find the truth, a lot of people, most people, I would expect, will give up on trying to find the truth to anything. Yeah. More and more babies are getting names like Royal, Charlie, Salem, Skylar, Justice, Oakley.
Wait, you said names like, would you group those together in any sort of way?
Yes. Do you know why I'm grouping them together?
Royal's a fucking sweet name. There was a guy in the NBA named Royal Ivy, and that is fucking sweet.
Poison's better.
Justice. Oakley?
Hey, Oakley Blades? That's all I hear. When
The thing that these names all have in common is people regard them as unisex.
Oh, okay.
People are giving
My daughter has a unisex name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's what the Social Security Administration is finding out. They put up a top 10 list.
Wait, I think my son has a unisex name. You can call a girl Tiger.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're kind of badass, actually.
Right.
Anybody want to have a baby with me? I got a great name.
Well, Tigress would really be where you would probably go.
My
My wife and I are contemplating Ladyboy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Especially if he's half Asian. That's awesome.
I've known 2 girls named
Lady
Charlie,
boy.
and both of them were amazing.
Oh my god, that's so good. Oh man.
I
mean, it's so good as long as you don't do it, right?
Here's where they break down. Charlie is a 50-50 name. Half are girls and half are boys. Finley.
I thought that was an Asian soldier. Why are you looking at me like I'm doing something wrong right now?
I think.
Do you want to find me? Is that what that was?
Yes, Jason.
Charlie.
Finally,
Charlie. I've always thought that it's not long before Will snaps and kills somebody. I've always thought that about you,
you
Will.
know who it's going to be, too.
Yeah, me. Because I've thought a couple times you were going to kill me.
Right.
That was one right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Finley is a name that's 58.
It's a park.
58% girls.
Oh no, that's Finway, isn't it?
Yeah. 42% boys.
What about naming kids Finway? What, Andrew? Fuck you, man. I didn't grow up. I didn't get no fucking hot dogs, alright? I got meat pies at fucking Shane Warne. I don't know what's going on.
Popcorn?
It was impressive that I didn't, yeah.
Cracker Jack? None of that?
I didn't get any Cracker Jacks. I did now, but, man, yeah, they are overrated.
Justice, Royal, Lennon, Oakley, Armani, and Landry are all popular names.
Armani?
Yeah.
The clothing thing?
Yes!
You named after...
Boys, 54%.
Are named Armani.
Armani. I'm not a fan. But...
Well, you don't have to fuck him.
I don't have to... Yeah, exactly.
That one is more functionally unisex than some of the other ones that you said. Like Devin. Which is completely... Like, if you only knew a Devin girl growing up, that name is just going to... Oh, yeah, that's a girl name.
Right.
If you only knew a Devin boy, that's totally a boy name. All these... Like, Charlie it's a fucking dude's name.
Yes.
You can use it however the fuck you want, and it can be 50-50 nowadays. It's fucking Chuck. That's Charles.
Yeah, I fucked a chick named Johnny for a while. I thought that was a cool name.
Yeah.
There's an article in the New York
For the record, she was the actual girl, too.
There's an article in the New York Daily News about Alice Cooper, who 37 years ago woke up vomiting blood and has never stopped. No, he stopped drinking. Now, the quote from Alice Cooper... The quote from Alice Cooper is, "I was drinking with Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and trying to keep up with Keith Moon, and they all died at 27.
Yes.
And?
I didn't know Keith Moon died at 27.
He didn't die. People ran him. He got run over, didn't he?
No, I thought
that's right.
He swallowed his own vomit.
That's right, he did, yeah.
I didn't know he was part of the 27 thing, but that is a thing.
Well, he says both him and his wife go to church every Sunday. They do Bible study. Now, his dad was an evangelist, and, he obviously rebelled against that. But now he's, come full circle around. And is a religious guy. I really didn't know that about Alice Cooper, that you could see him at, church every Sunday in Arizona or wherever he lives.
Arizona, I know I believe he's a pretty prominent Republican. I know he's super into golf. I know he's a restaurateur where all the servers in his restaurant, I think Cooperstown, have to wear classic Alice Cooper face makeup. He's a little bit of a fraud. He just tours around going, he never says he's Satan, but he does Satan-y shit. He's got guillotines and dead baby heads, and it's a fraud. That's who he was 30 years ago. Now he's the exact opposite.
Yeah, but that's what people want to see.
Well, yeah. And
you give the people what they want.
Yeah, and he's willing to sell out what he really is to keep making money. I'm guessing he doesn't.
I don't think that's the way he looks at it.
I doubt it is, because he get up on stage and tell everybody, "Hey guys, these songs are a good time and everything." But can I tell you about a guy who really rocks?
No, but he makes the point. If you actually read this article, he makes the point that people have, in his opinion, weird definitions of Christianity, and to him, it doesn't. He can be a rock star and be a Christian. What he does in his personal life is a completely different thing than the show he puts on stage.
He's like an 80-year-old man. He's not even metal. What are we talking about?
Here's what nobody going to that show thinks, oh, Alice Cooper is a 70-year-old evil guy. They think, okay, let's go see that show that Alice Cooper does.
No. I disagree. The truth is somewhere between the two of those things. We definitely assume that, if you go see Hyde, you don't think the guy playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You assume the rock star who wrote the songs is sort of living that life. That's sort of part of the cool thing, is Marilyn Manson is kind of really that guy. Alice Cooper in the song Poison sings, "I want to hurt you just to hear you screaming my name."
Yeah,
that
but-
is not Christian.
That was believable
okay.
in the
Yeah.
80s,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
nobody goes to his concert thinking that he's anything but a golf playing
If
sellout.
Marilyn Manson,
Hey,
What?
I agree with that.
If
Everybody
Marilyn
knows that
Manson-
about
I
him.
agree with that.
I'm not even interested in going, and I know that about him.
and Marilyn Manson and 40 years decides to be a Christian, people are still going to want to see, like, Dope Show and all
Look,
that
no, the
shit.
difference is Marilyn Manson will never be a
I
full-blown
know,
Christian because
I know.
Marilyn Manson is not full of shit. He's evil and he's fucked in the head. And Alice Cooper was never evil and fucked in the
Oh,
head.
that-
He's
no, you're
always
wrong
been a
about that.
sellout.
Oh, you're wrong about that. You're absolutely wrong about
Well, we
that.
will discuss that tomorrow.
I'm going to kill you.
Don't die. Who will win that
Say
argument?
that to yourself. I'm going to kill you. Here's your.